This episode brought to you by Jar Jar Links, the galaxy's finest Gungan jerky.
May the 4th be with you all. We're watching Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, and you're listening to Miscast Commentary.
You're listening to Miscast Commentary, where two guys have seen way too many movies and have way too much time on their hands.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Now here's your hosts, Joe Finley and Todd Murray.
Hey everybody, welcome to Miscast Commentary. I'm Joe Finley.
I'm Todd Tebow, the Sailor Murray.
And we're back with you with another special May the 4th episode. We're going to get through all of these movies, which means, like it or not, we're here for at least 6 years.
Yep.
And we'll have to keep catching up because there's another trilogy coming.
Hell yes.
Shit.
We need stuff to watch, yo.
The High Order, baby. No, not the High Order.
The low order.
Yeah.
Getting low down and dirty. There, fix my mic up. Boom.
That was the loudest fucking thing
You
that
like
we
that?
definitely could have done when we were
Life
recording.
is loud. Never.
It's fine. Only one way to get this bad boy started. I know I'm catching myself saying that a lot. It's basically my go-to of saying we should stop fucking around now.
Exactly.
So let us do it. Let us press play.
Now.
We are
Look at that. Just like Lucas, they're going to go back over that and put Disney.
Yeah. We are lucky. We are actually watching the version we're watching is an old 20th Century Fox version. It's that Blu-ray set from before the acquisition of Disney. Just if, you're looking into those sorts of things. But
Ooh, we're watching it on a big screen,
yeah,
baby.
we are watching this on my brand new projector. And
Whoa.
Just blew Todd's mind.
Did that just come out of my face?
I think it did. So lots to talk about. Episode 1, the prequels. Do you remember our getting excited for this when we were in high school?
Oh yeah.
The funniest thing, because so many places we were hearing about, like places in New York and LA where people were lining up like weeks before to get tickets and all this kind of stuff. So we were like, we should go over to the theater the afternoon, or the day that the tickets open and stuff, and just try and get them right away at lunch, see if we can get in there. And if we got to skip school in the afternoon, we'll do it. It'll be fine, blah, blah, blah. We literally just went there, and then the guy just kind of opened up the box office. We were all just standing there. Like, can we get tickets for Star Wars? He's like, yeah. And we just got them, and that was...
Yeah, that was not a big deal, yeah.
It was like, basically, that was the Entourage version of how people got tickets for Star Wars. It's like, we just got the tickets, and you're, yeah, oh, yeah.
Oh, now we don't. Now I'm lost. I don't even know what just happened.
You're wearing fucking glasses.
Oh, fuck.
You should be able to see all that
That was a great idea with that font.
I love it.
Whoever came up with that was a great idea.
I just recently introduced my kids to Spaceballs. So that was a fun thing, like getting...
Do they understand Star Wars well enough to get the... Or do they just like the silliness?
They liked the silliness, but they understood that Barf was supposed to be Chewbacca. They understood Pizza the Hut was Jabba the Hutt. They understood that Dark Helmet was Darth Vader. Actually, Reese just kept calling him Darth Vader outright. He didn't really have any.
It's outright called him Darth Vader.
He's like, Darth Vader was funny. The guys...
Special effects are good still.
Yeah, they're not that bad, actually. One thing that George Lucas does... is he apparently made a couple of shots in this movie were done with a digital camera instead of a film camera.
Right.
And he's like, I challenge you to figure out which is which. And now that being said, he did shoot parts 2 and 3 in digital, and the whole thing's fucking obvious. Although
yes.
Although I don't know how, I was going to say I don't know how biased we are with that, but then you think about The Hobbit and they were shot on digital, and it's like, the look's not there. One day it will be there, but it's not.
It's just the same model as C-3PO before he gets all fucked.
Yeah, no, that's the same model. C-3PO hasn't been built yet. Or has he?
Whoa. How old is C-3PO? Oh my God. Look at that young, rugged Ewan McGregor.
Ewan McGregor, and his little ponytail there always makes me really laugh. Liam Neeson playing Qui-Gon Jinn, who's a 60-year-old in this. He was not originally, I guess, in an original version of the script, it was only going to be Obi Wan Kenobi, and apparently they were looking at Kenneth Branagh to play Obi Wan Kenobi, which for the age, because he was going to be aged up and stuff, he wasn't going to be like as young as he is here, right? I don't really know how old he's supposed to be here. I'm thinking like 20s.
That's Alec McGuinness.
Yeah.
Look at all that. Well, actually, yeah, you can see in the background the cartoon dudes moving around, eh?
So these guys too, the Nemoidians here, which is the Viceroy and this other guy here, they were supposed to be animated, but I guess they didn't have. They were needed to save some money and stuff like that, so they went with the practical effects. And actually, the
guys look great.
But the puppeteering underneath is actually old recycled puppeteering from the bad guys from The Fifth Element.
No way!
Those aliens.
Oh my god! I shit you not. I can't now. I was literally going to say that their lips remind me of those dudes from The Fifth Element.
That's amazing.
The way that their lips move when they talk.
I really wish you would have said that first. That would have been a great moment. People might have listened to us.
Their mouth totally moves the same. That's awesome.
But yeah, so Liam Neeson, he's got the movie called The Marksman coming out, and it really sounds a lot like the latest Rambo, where he's like helping he's helping like a relative in Arizona who's like going up against cartels and stuff like that.
Does he play a man that has a particular set of skills?
I think he has a couple sets of skills in this one, but he's doing one called Memory that's directed by Martin Campbell.
So this whole thing that happened with him has not affected him?
Apparently not. His career's still going.
Good. I'm glad.
You know what I think saved him, honestly? Trevor Noah. Somebody asked Trevor Noah about it, and he's just like, what? He's like, he's racist because he was honest.
Yeah, exactly.
I
didn't find anything about the thing to be rate. Like, he admitted he was having an issue, right? And that was it. Like,
and that's the thing. But it's hard. Like, it's hard to admit things like that. I
think it's a very brave moment for him.
This is a thing
to say that.
Yeah, this is a thing I heard a lot of complaints about, and still hear a lot of complaints about. No, in Jedi shit in general, is anytime that a Jedi does something that you haven't seen them do in previous movies, people freak out. They're like, "Oh, Jedi couldn't hold their breath."
Which one of you guys ordered a martini?
Yeah, and it's like they forget that you didn't see any. You didn't see any real Jedis in the.
Where are we right
trilogy.
now?
We're on the Trade Federation's ship to. Negotiate peace terms.
What, between the Federation and the
Naboo?
The Nabooians?
Yes, them too.
Did you see what they did there? That's the classic diversionary technique.
Yeah.
The move is called Who Wants a Martini?
Yes.
And they sent the robot in first with a glass being like, who ordered a martini? And then boom, you're dead.
This is the one thing I was really looking forward to most about the new Star Wars movies, like when these were new to us, was the idea of young Jedi, young athletic Jedi. Because when you think about the other Star Wars,
old.
There were 3 people. Well, 4 because the Emperor, but there was Luke Skywalker, who was like a student who was learning at like the weirdest clip ever for a Jedi.
Right. Because he's the chosen one.
A really old man, a guy who was half machine. Well, more than half machine.
Right.
And then the Emperor, who did nothing but shoot lightning. So now you got these guys who are like flipping around and doing all kinds of cool shit.
Oh, these are neat.
Yeah. I liked their designs for the droids. Like the droid like the regular droid guys who they cut through so easily and stuff. It's like they're a good kind of like analog for like the stormtrooper. Like, you know, they're the easy to defeat pawns and stuff like that.
I know I've said it before, and I cannot wait for the new trilogy. Like, no ties to any of these characters, but it's the same universe.
Yeah.
I also cannot wait to have a new bad guy that's not the Empire.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, there's got to be some other real bad dudes out there, you know, way the fuck out there.
Well, that's why you got to get into the Mandalorian, even though, the Empire is still heavily involved and stuff like that, or the fallen Empire, as it were. Because, I mean, this is between the Empire being gone and the First Order rising.
This is the first one.
This is, episode 1.
Oh, there she is, Lady Thor.
Lady Thor's in the house. A very young Natalie Portman. So yeah, she's got Thor: Love and Thunder coming up. She was hired for this based on George Lucas seeing The Professional and Beautiful Girls.
Okay.
So she was super young when she got like cast in this and stuff like that. And she
is very
fairly
young.
like,
what year was this movie?
I don't have it down in front of me. I think
This was
99?
like, we don't see any Queen Amidalias anymore at the old Comic-Con. Oh, no, yeah, sometimes you do. Sometimes you, actually.
You do. It's a pretty fun one for people to do because the costume work and stuff is like kind of out of this world. The voices of the Nemoidian guys, they've got these weird Asian things going on that like throw me
These
up.
two guys.
Yeah. Is that legal?
Yeah, it is so totally...
yeah. And
they're neat. I love how they're like, let's not do it in cartoon. Let's save some money and do it practical the way it always should be done.
Yeah.
Anyways.
No, for sure. Well, he was trying very hard to like digitize as much as he could, and it was really because
don't trust him. He's a son of a bitch.
yeah, because George Lucas at the center is very much into controlling things. And if you watch the making of this, especially on the original DVD that came out for this, there was this wonderful behind the scenes documentary about making it. And you can even see him taking 2 separate takes of the same scene and then split screening it because he liked the person on the right's performance better in one take and the person on the left's performance in another take.
Yeah.
So he was just like, he wants to do as much as he can in post because he wants to control every aspect. To him, if he could just make people say things exactly the way he wanted them said, and
or the way that he can picture them in his head, right?
Exactly. And that's a big part of why he did like all his remakey like re-releases and all these kind of things. He's like, I wish it could have been like this and I couldn't do it then. Now I can do it. And he's like, so now I'm going to do it. And then he's like, I'm going to change it again because I thought about this now that I did that. And it's a whole...
I can't remember what the hell happened with all these robots. Like later on, there's no more robots or anything.
Well, remember, we are evolving towards stormtroopers.
This is before the storm. These guys are way better than stormtroopers.
No, and they explain that as they do it because they're all independent thinkers. If you destroy a mothership, they don't all die.
Right.
Like it's a lot of that shit, right? So in the second movie, they
tried it synthetically, and then they're like, we're not pulling it off. We need real people under the suits.
Exactly. An interesting little, couple of interesting little.
No black people.
No, well, no, there's a black person in this movie.
I know. I said it for all those people. They're like, how can he be black under the helmet? How can there be any other race than what I am?
I know. Forget about that. Holy shit.
Oh, my God. Look at this.
Yeah.
Well, this hasn't aged very well. I take that back. Look at him.
Yeah, he doesn't look great.
You know what? Sorry, go.
I was going to say Lawrence Kasdan actually was asked to write the movie, and he turned it down because he felt that George Lucas, he was taking too many steps back and should be doing this shit for himself. And so thanks, Lawrence Kasdan, for doing that to us.
Yeah, thanks, bud.
But then also...
Who says that about any movie?
I know, right?
I think you should take this yourself. This is your baby. Yeah. I don't want to raise your baby.
No, I kind of get nobody wanted to be involved in this because I guess originally... who did he ask? He asked somebody to direct. He asked Ron Howard to direct, and he said no. He asked Frank Darabont to write it, and he said no. Carrie Fisher apparently did some script doctoring for this. Yeah. So, like uncredited script doctoring.
That looks atrocious.
But I want to read to you this was in the first draft of Star Wars, like the original Star Wars, this was actually the first thing that was written. So just so you can pick out some things that they took for this movie. This is the story of Mace Windu, a revered Jedi Bendu of Apuchi who was related to Uzbi C.J. Thape, Padawan learner of the famed Jedi. So all of that stuff was supposed to be in the original Star Wars, and all that got scrapped because it was a bunch of crazy jargon. Yeah. And he reused most of it here. Mace Windu appears in this. The Padawan learners are in this. But most of those things, like midichlorian, all these different things came from his early shit, so it's not that he originally you had heard like there was kind of the tale that he had already written all these movies like ages and ages ago.
Yeah.
But really what he had done is taken
Think
stories.
of an idea.
Yeah. He had ideas that were being taken from things that he already took out. So
this looks atrocious. The special effects, this is the problem with having a special effect heavy movie, especially in, they can say whatever they want
and this is the early days.
And, that's what I'm saying. Like, and to have the gall, to have a full on CG character knowing full well in 10 years or whatever, it's going to look like this.
Well, and what's really funny too, this isn't that, like, this is what, like,
music.
I know. This was like a year removed from Lord of the Rings, and 2 years removed from the Two Towers. Like, that's, like, think of Gollum versus him.
Even when you see Gollum now, he does not looking so hot.
He still looks a lot better.
He does look way better than this, though. Way. I've always said Wade was better than Industrial Light Magic.
He looks like he fit into... Well, no, but that's not even that fair, because Industrial Light Magic still does a lot of... Like, Industrial Light Magic does all of, like, the Marvel shit. And all that shit looks phenomenal. So, but the thing is this was, like, the real... Like, people don't really...
This is neat.
People really don't even give credit, because Ahmed Best, who plays Jar Jar Binks, is the first actor to physically portray on set the CG character. Like, it's like Andy Serkis gets all the credit for that.
I will give this man no credit for anything.
I feel bad for so many of the people involved in this movie who weren't already big stars, because they have to really wear this movie. Like, nobody's talking about this movie to fucking Liam Neeson. They're like, oh, not like, oh, fuck you, you were in episode 1. Blah, blah, blah. Like, no. Like,
is this where the Jar Jars are from?
Yeah, this is
this underwater
Gungan City.
I don't remember any of this shit. Look at this old bastard. Little whiskery prick.
I feel like he should...
Jar Jar!
Wouldn't that have been amazing if this was Sam Elliott saying all this weird Gungan shit? No again, Jar Jar.
Oh, he could probably pay the money.
Yeah. No again, Jar Jar.
Oh my god, look at them standing. They're looking at nothing.
You saw in big doo-doo.
I'm sure he has to say words that we would like.
I know.
You know what I mean? It's true, though. That's the way it would be.
Well, that's literally what he just said.
Of course, because you haven't fucking memorized.
Well, this is the character Boss Nass, who's voiced by Brian Blessed. He was in, you mentioned it in our Coming Attractions episode a couple weeks ago. He was in Flash Gordon. He played the Prince.
Oh, what?
Yeah, he was...
Everybody was in Flash Gordon.
He was Porthos in the Three Musketeers like TV show in the 60s. He was in Blackadder. He was the ghost of Hamlet's father in Kenneth Branagh's Hamlet.
Oh my god, yes.
And he was the wrestling coach in Alexander, and he was the voice of Grampy Rabbit or something like that in Peppa Pig.
Peppa.
For people who care about such things. Peppa.
It's the best show that's ever been on TV. I heard somewhere that, like, you should not let your children watch Peppa Pig because it's, like, bad for them or something.
It's Caillou's the one that's really the problem, but...
Because he's a spoiled little bitch ass.
Oh, he's the worst.
That's my impression of this guy.
Yeah, that wasn't a bad impression.
His name's Triple Chin.
Yeah, I like, because I was like, why did all the Gungans look the same except Boss Nass looks like a frog by comparison? But then you realize that he's actually got his ears or whatever they are pinned back behind him. You can see them in some shots.
Every time you say Gungan, I think of like Dragon Ball Z or something.
I feel like
it reminds me of like
like Gundam or something.
Yeah.
Gundam Seed.
Gungadin.
We used to when YTV used to do all sorts of the anime stuff like that, and so we'd have whole nights of like Gundam Seed and like Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z and
let's talk about the idea that we had before this. Well, first off, the best thing you could do with these fucking people would be to turn them into beef jerky.
Yes.
So you don't have to listen to their ridiculousness.
Those ears would dry out perfect.
Wait, so that guy's got his ears taped behind his head because he's ashamed?
So you can see them coming down, but you can see they're like... No, I think it's just so he can wear his hat.
Does he have like what was that, like a twitch? Like what the hell was that? Like, did he just have a mini stroke?
Well, it's definitely, he's probably, because of his weight, he's probably had a stroke.
Like right there. Anyways, okay, so Jar Jar Binks...
Yeah.
Sort of breaks the fourth wall, but it's exactly the script of Jessica Jones, only you put in Jar Jar Binks.
Oh my god.
And he's gotten tons of flack because nobody liked his character, so he like hit the bottle. He's pretty hardcore, and now he's essentially where Arnold starts off in End of Days.
Yeah.
Like he puts a gun in his mouth, he's like a real hard ass.
Oh, for sure.
And he's a private detect. He's a private dick.
Oh, he's a dick, all right.
Yeah.
George Lucas, he made the similar deal that he did for Episode 4 when he signed the new deal for these, was basically he took no salary to make the movies, but he got like TV, he got rights to the script. He owns he owns the negatives. He owns, or at the time until he sold it all, like he owned all the TV, or not the TV rights, the toy rights, the merchandising, all that kind of shit. So, yeah, he made like so much money off these goddamn
Of course, he's not dumb, that's for sure.
Oh, God, no.
That's how you make the most money, is making them back-end deals.
Oh, hell yeah.
Just give me $12 and a sandwich, and then I get a percentage of the box office. Boom.
This was a lazy scene to me because they essentially do the exact same thing twice.
I dig that they're underwater, though, because you didn't hear, this is the first time we got to see, like, underwater in Star Wars universe, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, underwater, yes.
This could be a ride. Driving around with Jar Jar.
That actually would, that would have been interesting if Star Wars Land would have opened up back then. This is definitely would have been something.
They can still do it. Why can't they do retro rides?
Imagine like doing a pod race.
Yeah, they should. Why not? Because it doesn't have to be a new thing. A pod race would be badass.
That would be really cool. Imagine you all got in your own pod and then like they all looked.
It should be like on a track, and then you really move, but you know you're strapped in or whatever the hell.
They'd figure
fall
something
off
out.
the goddamn thing.
Yeah. Something else that was interesting too. I don't know how much you remember about this. When the trailer first came out, it was coming out on certain movies, and people were paying to go see the movies and then just leaving
to watch the trailer. I remember that. That is unbelievably ridiculous. You have got to be fucking kidding me. You might as well just stay and watch the movie, even if it was something like a.
Yeah. Well, I heard a story from somebody where basically they Meet Joe Black had it. But at the beginning of Meet Joe Black, somebody came out and said the trailer's going to play before the movie, but it's going to play again after the movie. So they got people to stay through the movies so they could watch it after the credits.
That's hilarious. That's the only way you were sitting through Meet Joe Black.
Yeah, and that was a long-ass thing to sit
that was
through.
that was a very long movie.
Yeah.
Was he like the devil's son or something? It turned out to be like Anthony Hopkins was like Satan or something.
I remember nothing about this movie, about that movie, man.
I was going to say about this movie?
This movie I remember. So yeah, so we just had the fish thing where the one fish was chasing him, then another fish got him, and now here we are again. Oh, another fish! Like we did not need this twice. It would have been cool if they would have had like even just some falling rocks or something like that they had to get around the first time they broke down, and then they had this. See, because look at where there's always a bigger fish again, and this is the same one from before.
That got the other guy.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's like it's same species, I guess, right?
Jar Jar just shit his britch.
Well, because he just gave him like the Vulcan neck pinch, essentially.
Yeah, just to shut him the fuck up.
See, it's funny because like Jar Jar was made specifically for the kids.
I was literally just about to say that. I wish you never would have said that thing about guys from Fifth Element.
I apologize.
Damn. Redo.
Yeah, this is proof that we don't write our shit. Also, just the way we talk is the other proof.
There's been a lot of excitement happening so far, though.
Oh, this is like there's a lot going on in these movies. I think the people's problems. People are for some reason more discerning.
Oh my lord!
Yeah, people are more discerning about the dialogue in these movies than the original trilogy. Even though the dialogue is pretty much right on par. Like the first trilogy has weak dialogue.
Yeah, it's true.
And the actors would be the first people to tell you that. They used to make fun of George Lucas all the time. Like, what the hell is this shit? And if you hear some of the stuff, like if you ever heard Mark Hamill's audition tape. Like some of the stuff that's in there, like it's not in the movie, and it's very windy and winded and stuff like that. Like like that thing I read from the original draft, and that it's just like he put in so much fucking jargon that it was just impossible.
Yeah, just like way too much. Like I mean, in Star Trek they'll throw some jargon at you just to give you a loose. Yeah. Like, okay, we can do this by circumnavigating the photon lasers into the output of the audio of and you're like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Those dudes, I love these guys. I could be these guys. Like, I'm a hella mouth breather. Those guys don't even have noses.
So, if you didn't notice there, that was not Natalie Portman as Queen Amidala. That's Keira Knightley.
What?
Yeah, Keira Knightley is her double in this.
No way.
Yeah.
Was Keira Knightley not in anything at this time?
Not yet. She was like 12 years old when this movie came out.
Oh, I keep forgetting how time works.
But but what's interesting is one of the other handmaidens, Sofia Coppola.
No way.
She's all like hooded up and stuff like that.
Oh, well, yeah, well, because they're buds, for instance, for Coppola and Lucas, right?
Well, but here's the thing. So Sofia Coppola and Roman Coppola are both in this movie with like uncredited like background kind of things. Sofia Coppola was just about to work on her first movie. What was it? The Virgin Suicides. And she heard that George Lucas was going to be working on this. So she asked if she could come on set and just kind of shadow him to watch directing and that sort of thing, right? And so he offered her a role in the thing. And she's like, it's probably the best place for me. I'm not in the way because I'm where I'm supposed to be.
Right.
And I can watch him do his thing and all that. So she did that. But yeah, Roman Coppola also was in it. They both made their movie debuts in Godfather, which George Lucas was an assistant editor on.
Mm-hmm.
So
they were buds. I love that story where they all get together and watch like the footage of Star Wars before it comes out, and they're all like, "What the fuck is this?" But Spielberg saw it though. Spielberg was like, "I can see what you're talking about."
Yeah. So so that's Keira Knightley right now in the makeup, and you can see to her left, our right, is Natalie Portman as Padme.
That's Keira Knightley right there.
And it was so uncanny that I guess Keira Knightley's mom came to visit her on the set, and Natalie Portman was in the makeup. And she went over to Natalie Portman thinking it was her daughter.
They do really look alike, eh?
Yeah, it was very uncanny.
That's a young Keira Knightley. What a fucking, that's awesome. Good trivia.
Yeah.
Oh, they're using you as a plant girl, just like Castro. Oh, fuck. Yeah, great position to be in. They're going to be taking a shot at you. Yeah, she better be getting hella danger pay.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what they're paying.
Hella. She better have some really good benefits, man.
Yeah.
I have 3 fingers.
See, this is my least favorite line in the entire movie right here. Here it is. Coruscant. That doesn't compute. Fuck you. That doesn't compute. This is the
I like that he would use and and then be like, that does not compute. Because if he's using ums, he'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about.
But like, you haven't heard that does not compute from a robot since like the 1960s.
He's throwing it back retro, like, man. Maybe he's been watching a lot of retro stuff. His roommate's a Commodore 64.
So apparently when Liam Neeson and Ewan McGregor, they got to like pick the lightsabers, there was a story about it. It doesn't really line up with what I saw in the documentary, but like this guy came with like a lock box and he opened the lock box and like there's like several hilts there and he got to choose the one that he wanted and they were like, okay. They put them all back, they locked it, and then they left again, and the other ones just when I don't know if they got used for somebody else or whatever, but like it was just like they just said it was this like shroud of secrecy kind of like
neato.
Yeah.
Just like it, red blue. So I guess in a sense, why don't you tell the world your wonderful news?
What?
About your trip. What's that guy in?
He's in this.
Oh.
So we just got our first glimpse of R2-D2. There he is.
Hey, just grabbed Jar Jar's ass.
Yeah, he just sexually assaulted Jar Jar.
That's what C-3PO was always yelling at him about.
Yeah.
But the opposite, why aren't you grabbing my ass?
Yes. Oh, what Todd's referring to, though, is because my Disney trip was canceled. Actually, as of this day that we're recording, was going to be my first day in Star Wars Land. And it was already all set up. And
that's weird how it worked out. This is the proper movie we should be watching now, and you technically would be. We wouldn't be doing this right now.
I know, it's really, that's true. We wouldn't be.
I should feel slighted.
And it's really triggering my depression, but it's fine.
That's what Disney and Star Wars always does to people. Triggers their deepest, darkest depression.
Not being there is the problem.
That guy, you need to tell me who that guy is because it's killing me.
I don't have him. He's got 3 lines in the whole movie. He
reminds me of the dude who was like the bad guy in the newest Terminator where he played John Connor.
Oh, God.
And he was like turned. What else was he? And he was in the new Pet Sematary.
Oh, fuck yeah. I think I know what you're talking about, but yeah.
And that mountain movie with Jake Gyllenhaal that nobody went and saw.
The mountain movie?
Are you talking about? We're going to the top.
Oh, that one. I was going to say, you're referring to Brokeback Mountain? I feel like a few people saw that.
Nobody saw that fucking thing.
Yeah. That was, I do have that guy's name who played Captain Panaka. Let me find it. I have so many things in here.
Banaka.
Yeah.
You drunk again?
Yes. His name's Hugh Quarshie. He was in Highlander and Nightbreed. He was in Fantastic Beasts, Crimes of Grindelwald.
He was in Nightbreed?
Yeah.
That might be it. Not that guy.
Fuck
it, he's a Nightbreed.
The black guy.
Oh.
Who was plays Captain Panaka.
I love those guys' mouths moving around.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is for guys that have so much. Oh shit!
He looks like I remember how
himself was he there in the background or did he just join it?
He walked into whatever the thing was like scanning.
He's so badass. They did not do him justice. I was hoping at the beginning of this that he was going to be the bad guy through all three of them.
Did you know he was only in this movie for 8 minutes?
Really?
Yeah. He is not in this movie for very long.
They slight him. He got ripped off like Jeremy Renner's Hawkeye.
Well, but they gave it back to him because then he shows up in Clone Wars and he shows up in Solo and he shows
it's not really him though.
Well, it's the actor.
It's a clone.
No.
What do you think? These are like when you watch a movie and it's a flashback.
Yeah.
Now I'm okay with it. But in the past, seeing an action in a flashback scene, I'd be like, what a waste.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't even happen now. It's like in a flashback.
What is that?
I don't know. It was like a
what
weird...
is that logic?
I don't know. I don't know what it is. But it was like as if it didn't... I don't know. Not that it didn't count, but it was like...
Yeah. Even though I'm clearly experiencing it in this
like,
moment.
I don't know what it was. That's something definitely we need to speak about in our therapy episodes. Every 4 episodes, we should have the Dr. Phil one where where they do true crime.
I bet...
Or when it's like off of the actual show that he does. You know what I mean?
I'm going to reach out because I'm pretty sure I have access to a therapist a couples therapist who does a podcast.
Is it a robot?
No.
Your problem is love.
But I was going to say, I could see if I could get her on the show and she can figure us out.
That'd be so wicked. She kills herself halfway through the episode.
I like that even in this fake double thing, she gets assigned to bitch work. She's the queen and she's like
knowing, hey, if she's gonna play the other girl. So knowing having a boner during her scenes in this movie is not nearly as bad as when I had a boner through the entirety of The Professional.
Yeah, but I was always attracted to Jean Reno, so it's all good.
How old is she here?
I'm thinking I think max 16.
A little old, but she's all right.
Oh no, maybe 17 because when she shot this, around 16 because I know she didn't make it to the premiere party in New York for this because she was studying for her high school finals.
Haven't seen her in it. What is it? Well, she came out with Annihilation, which I never saw.
Yeah.
Look at his rat tail.
I know.
Oh my god.
That's the one thing too, that braid they decided to give. So basically the idea of the braid is if you're the Padawan learner, you've got the braid and blah blah blah, and then you cut it off after you've passed your trials and that sort of shit. See, this is Captain Panaka. He's the guy who was a Nightbreed and all that shit that I was talking about.
Is that Natalie
Highlander.
Or is that Kira?
That's Natalie. Whenever you see her as a person, it's Natalie. It's only in the makeup, it's Kira.
She's still a person in the makeup, Joe.
But you know what I mean. It's just in the makeup is what... If you see Queen Amidala in the makeup and you see Padme, then that's Keira Knightley.
Right.
If you just see Queen Amidala and nowhere else, that's Natalie. If you see... So basically, it's only when you see the two of them together as Akira.
Oh, here. Is this Tatooine?
This is Tatooine.
It definitely looks Tatooine-ish.
Yeah. So
or like something out of an old Clint movie.
See, and this is actually nice because this is one of the few not all digitized
Jar Jar moving
shit. They were saying
he walks with a real beat to him, eh?
Yeah.
Like he's raw. He's got something. He's got music in his head or something.
Well, he was. It was kind of funny watching Ahmed Best kind of work out the movement and stuff because he saw the drawings and all that and all the gangliness, and he's like, so that's how he informed the movement of him.
This one of the places you go at one of the Disneylands?
No. The place in Disney is a place that doesn't exist in the stories. It's called Batuu, but it's got a very similar vibe.
Yeah, because it looked really just like I remember seeing the concept drawings.
Yes,
and it looked like that car that was parked there, and the one part looked just like it.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is, the greatest actor,
Jake Lloyd.
I love that, when they say, I always remember this video game, this stuff right here from the video game. When the oh, for the love. Yeah. You know when they say we search the world to find the perfect. It was like maybe you shouldn't have done that, Lucas. I blame this whole thing on Kasdan.
For saying
you could have really Kasdan. Come on, well, you don't want a paycheck, what?
I know certain people
Like,
are
who
just
tells Spielberg to write your own movie? You write it, he directs it. That's how it works. You're a writer,
Yeah.
I'm a director.
Yeah.
I tell you to write me. Do you want me to pull Mel Gibson at the birthday party right now? You want me to fucking lose it?
What I find really funny too is that he was basically saying like, oh, in Empire and Return of the Jedi, you took such a huge step back. You were taking such a big step back and like not like handling your baby. But people argue that Empire is the best one that was ever made.
Yeah, what does he mean by
like,
a step back?
Well, because it's like, well, it was your thing. Like Star Wars was your thing. You wrote it, you
Oh,
directed
and then,
it.
buddy.
And then the second one you didn't write or direct, and the third one you didn't write or direct.
Good.
And yeah, like I was like Empire was.
He wrote them, right?
Kasdan wrote. I think he wrote both of them.
I think he did too. Who directed those ones?
Irvin Kershner directed Empire Strikes Back, and I think
It's like garbage can, dude. He's like my favorite guy.
Yeah,
His feet aren't burnt yet.
It's the Gonk droid. Although now I call him a Gronk droid, and I give him Gronk's voice. Hey, bro. I'm the garbage can.
Oh my God, he's like they're making such a big deal over wrestling over him.
Yeah.
I just got my. I'm gonna be.
Oh, look at that lazy ass robot who's just cranking those things. I've never noticed him before. That's something like you see in the line for Star Tours.
Hey, like a buddy lost a tooth, probably in a bet. This guy's runs the junkyard. What, are they stuck here? How'd they get here?
Yeah, they crashed, and then
you had the underwater adventure,
and they need a part. Well, this is
this is like a fetch quest in a video game.
Yeah, essentially.
Oh my lord.
This is an interesting thing because this is the first time you would watch anybody actually resist Jedi powers, and I enjoy that.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about this guy. Because there's going to be some dudes out there that are...
That's exactly it. Like, he's got, like, the brains and stuff like that.
This guy doesn't look so bad, actually.
He's not terrible. He could be better. Like, he still doesn't fully fit in.
That's the thing, because they don't either, right?
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah. An interesting thing, most of the sets and stuff, because so many things are like CG and all that, most of the sets are only basically as high as the tallest person's head. And they said because Liam Neeson is so tall, it basically cost the movie production an extra $150,000 because they had to make the sets just that much higher.
Right.
When they wouldn't have had to had they gotten a shorter actor.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Make him just bend down.
Yeah. Well, no, because then you would literally physically be watching him crouch everywhere.
Sometimes he's going to be in a place that's not as tall. Like, they don't build a whole universe for Liam Neeson.
Yeah. So, Jake Lloyd, he was in Jingle All the Way. He was the son in Jingle All the Way. Oh, my
God, that's right.
But he quit acting after this movie because he was basically mercilessly bullied at school and stuff like that. Why
would you be bullied to be in a movie?
I know, right? Well, it's because the movie wasn't well received and stuff too. I bet you if it was like if everybody loved the movie, people would have been like, "Awesome, you're a fucking Jedi, woo!"
Well, it's just the same thing that happens now. Only all these fans that hated this one have gotten older, and even more ridiculous. Yeah. I don't dig is the whole, like, when I heard, I don't know whether it's true or not, but I heard that, like, Lucas wanted, merchandising, and so he afterwards kind of forced in Jar Jar for the kids.
Yeah.
And then when he's not received very well, he's, like, nowhere to be seen in the next one.
Yeah.
Which is weird because you think if he's part of this story now, you just stick with him.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's still actually, what he kind of did was even kind of better than that, is he was... I kind of like the design of this character, the Sebulba character. Like the way he walks on his hands and his feet are essentially his other hands. But yeah, they made it that much worse though because he's barely in the second movie, but then he's basically responsible for the Emperor becoming the Emperor.
Oh, no shit.
It's like he gets manipulated into basically giving the Emperor emergency powers, which, by the way, while we're going through all this coronavirus stuff, they literally just did this in Hungary. They basically voted in their current prime minister as a dictator. What? They gave him unlimited emergency powers. They've shut down parliament. He is now ruling by decree.
Whoa.
And the only way to undo it is for a 2/3 parliament vote. And you just heard me say that parliament was shut down, so that can't happen.
And this is in Hungary? Why would they do that?
I have no idea.
Why would they think that giving one dude absolute power would help them somehow?
I have no idea. But it's basically...
He was probably like, if you just have me, you're not paying politicians, you're just,
Yeah. But it made me think about this movie a lot because this is what I've said to you before, is this movie... If you're looking at it for just the visuals of what you're looking at, this movie is instantly bad. If you start picking apart the story that leads to the next story,
Right.
that's where you start to see the good. Not what, like, again, not being the apologist. It's just like, if you look at this movie or this series of movies as Palpatine being the star, you start and you really watch his story and every single decision he makes. Like, he's the one who's manipulated the Trade Federation to block the Naboo, so he can manipulate Padme to do the things she does, so he can become the Chancellor.
He's playing a game of chess, buddy. Interstellar, intergalactic chess.
He's playing both sides of the war that happens in parts 2 and 3 to give him the emergency powers, and then he's the one who basically like fake newses the Jedi into being the bad guys.
That's pretty slick.
Like, it's really,
hey man, if you're gonna run the galaxy, man, you gotta plant the seeds. You gotta water it. You gotta sing to it.
Yeah. This is Pernilla August, who plays Shmi Skywalker here. She's a Swedish actress. Yeah, she's a Swedish actress. She's in, when you go through her IMDb, it's mostly Swedish things. There's C-3PO.
There he is.
I was weirded out, like, this gave me that, like, Saved by the Bell, the new class kind of vibe, where I was like, did they all have to be, like, so closely connected?
Right.
Like, I think R2-D2 makes perfect sense. He was a friggin' astromech droid who was doing what he was supposed to be doing. But it's like, did Darth Vader have to be the one who made our C-3PO?
Right. Does it always? Yeah. It's like in a soap opera where everything has to close the loop, like, so easily.
Yeah. Like, I love Anthony Daniels and I love C-3PO, but I would have been all right with holding him off till the next one.
I agree. Like, why did he have to be in this?
Yeah. Like, it would have
this
been...
movie just seems like there is a lot of unnecessary CG. Like, wow. Yeah. How much did this movie cost? Are we there yet?
I don't actually have that.
Holy
that
fuck. You should just have this off heart.
Yeah, you're not wrong. But my pots are showing.
I can't
but yeah,
wait.
This is obviously just straight up puppeteering. That was like, he's not CG at all.
Right.
But
well, he looked good there.
Yeah.
Look at this guy. He's not even there.
I know.
They got sloppy with this guy.
They use
a ghost. Listen to my ghost.
It's fading away.
It's a ghost using that device. What would you look like then?
I don't know. That communicator is actually just a decorated...
it's like a lighter.
No, it's a Gillette women's shaver.
Oh my God.
It's just a razor that they just put some shit on.
Imagine like this making these movies must be hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, look at all the rings. The whole planet is like, oh, this is neat looking.
Yeah, so this is cool. Coruscant. Apparently, if you're like really keen in the eye, looking through those, you can see the Starship Enterprise flying around.
No.
I think it was in the wider shot. So now
I'm looking now. The whole movie, forget it.
So now listen to the voice of. So this is not Ray Park's voice. Ray Park is obviously who's playing Darth Maul, but that was not his voice. That was the voice of Peter Serafinowicz, who was a British comedian who is really well known for being in Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's
as
right.
One of the Nova Corps. What a bunch of a-holes.
I like this old mud hut with like the robot doors and everything. It's like they've slowly outfitted it, with like some new stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, the technology's there.
Look, they got the old Kool-Aid jug.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, those are essentially the same one they used in the original Star Wars too.
Yeah, they're reusing their stuff, man. They're not rich. They live on Tatooine.
Tatooine? Oh my God.
I have a tattoo of a toonie on my butt.
Oh fuck. That would be amazing, actually, now that you say it. I know. I also
this kid.
And again, it's kind of a stupid thing to complain about. But I don't like that he called himself a human.
Who?
Anakin. I was like, to me, they're not humans. They're just humanoid. Like, they just happen to look like humans, right? It's like, I'm a Corellian. I'm a Naboo. I'm whatever, right? But so I was kind of thrown off because I was like, no, you're not. Like, it's a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. You haven't invented human yet.
Would it be okay? So if you're talking about them like Torontonians, would they be Nabooers?
No, there'd be the Naboo.
Those dirty Naboo.
Yeah. You got to go right to what you would call them if you were racist against them.
Yeah.
I understand.
This kid is amazing.
So it cost about $115 million to make.
That's it?
Yeah.
How come that's crazy to see this movie? Like the whole thing is special effects and everything. It only cost 115 mil.
Yeah. But I think that also comes with the fact that you own the company that makes the. So you're probably doing it for cheaper than you had.
You get it at cost because you own them.
So it made $474.5 million in the U.S. It made $1.03 billion worldwide. It was the second highest grossing movie of all time at this point, just behind Titanic.
This movie's entire budget is what it costs to do the credits of a Marvel movie.
Yes, because they're so long.
Holy
it's funny
Christ.
because we were making fun of how long their credits were, but holy shit, I was rewatching the Lord of the Rings movies. I'm introducing my kids to them right now, and holy shit, I've got the kids to bed. I've got my entire projector set thing taken down, and the credits are still fucking rolling.
Oh yeah. I'd love to watch it on this thing.
Oh, we'll have you over for some screenings, man. I've kind of gone all in on this thing, although it's not pointed where I want it right now. It's slightly off, and I'm.
It's still cool though.
Yeah,
I can see Jar Jar in all his gigantic glory.
Yeah, it is very nice to be watching. We're watching it at a 100-inch screen right now.
So he's an underwater creature.
Well, he's like
is he breathing underwater?
Yes, he's an amphibious creature. He can. That's why he's from.
So he can breathe underwater and on the air.
Yeah. Well, he didn't put on any scuba gear or anything.
Maybe he can just hold his breath really long.
Maybe, but they used. It's funny because they literally showed in the previous scene how long they could hold their breath, and then they had to put in special breathing devices to go underwater.
Nice.
But then I was kind of like,
well,
why
you never know how long it's going to be.
No, I know. I was kind of like, why don't those breathing devices exist yet? Like, it was literally just like a little mouthpiece.
Yeah, it was just, no, it looked like it just went under their nostrils or something.
Like how cool would that be? If
it's a good thing they like always carry them on themselves, just in case they have to.
Yeah. Something that, as much as they didn't like it when it happened, they probably saw as kind of a good omen. They shot this in Tunisia, just like they did the original Star Wars. And a giant sandstorm, just like the original Star Wars, ruined their sets and shit. Although instead of like the sets like this, it was all the pod racing shit.
No shit.
Yeah.
Didn't learn the first time.
No. Yeah, go to the fucking like Mojave or some shit.
Wonder where that guy goes to the bathroom. Just
wherever
fly outside and take a shit. I feel like he kind of just shits wherever he is.
Well, he does have a slave, so I feel like he just does it, and then Anakin just cleans up after him. It's
this guy. They talk about like having acting coaches. Like, holy shit, kid!
Can I tell you what their biggest mistake was in casting him? Not just casting him. A lot of what happens in this movie is based on his age and stuff. They're like, oh no, he's too old to begin training, but he's very young. I know that in the canon of all this, they take them when they're like infants essentially, and they start training them at that point.
Right.
But I would have made him.
They never said yes to that.
I would have aged him up to like 12 years old.
Right, made him a little older.
So because you can probably find a better actor that way.
Or you find a kid who looks young. But is older. He's 35.
Yeah, but also you create a weird age difference between him and Padme. And
age ain't nothing but a number.
No, I hear that, but it's really weird where he's basically like, I've been in love with you since we first met when I was 6. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's weird. Like, at least if he had
That's how most of the dirty movies I watch start.
But I mean, at least if he had like some adolescence behind him, it would make a little bit more sense to me. But
did they just happen upon him? How did they find him?
They were looking for parts, and they went to a place that sells parts for their ship, and that was there.
Oh, that's how it all starts. Yep. Who's that kid again? He's Darth Vader.
His name's yeah. Oh my Lord, Todd!
It's been a while.
Holy fuck!
What's his last name? Anakin. No, Anakin's
Skywalker. Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, that's his name.
Holy fucking shit!
What's the problem?
I think I just left my body.
I don't know, he's so young. He doesn't look like Darth Vader.
He looks exactly
like some little
like
white
him.
Kid.
He looks exactly like him.
He should have had the helmet on. Every time, there should have been multiple scenes where he looks in a mirror and half of his face is the mask.
That would be amazing. Although they do that in part 2. Well, they do it like an effect in part
They should
2.
do it a lot in this one. See, for people like me, I'm lost.
The other thing about Jake Lloyd that you have to know is
You
that...
have to know.
Well, it's... again, you need to feel guilty if you've ever shit on him. He was diagnosed with schizophrenia in later years, and he was like put in a mental institution. He spent 11
Really?
He spent 11 months in jail. Like he's
probably because of this.
he's been through some shit. Well, and that's the thing. Like, I mean, schizophrenia isn't something that can be caused by like bullying and shit, but it can actually it could be a little bit, but it can certainly be exacerbated. It can be something that already exists.
Is that
in you.
Warwick?
That I believe that is Warwick Davis.
Oh my
in there.
God.
Now there's an interesting thing about him because everybody's first thought was that was Greedo.
Right.
But then they said in the credits he's listed as Wald. But apparently in a deleted scene, somebody calls him Greedo.
Really?
Yeah, I'm just trying to find the information.
You know what? If from what you just told me about how he was in mental institute, I would just tell everybody that I never started that movie. It was Bob. That's his personality number 4.
Ooh.
See, just blame it on one of your other personalities.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It flies in court.
Yeah, I would have nailed it if it was me, but Bob.
What are they doing mental institutes nowadays?
I don't know. I think mostly...
Where's the exposés on them? They're probably still blowing your brains out. You know what I mean? They're probably still sticking you in the old lobotomy chamber.
Yeah. So, yeah, apparently, anyway, somebody said to him in the deleted scene, said, "Stay out of trouble, Greedo, or you'll come to a bad end." That was the line that was left. But then I think they probably thought it was too...
So what's funny, though, if that was Greedo, then his act he does now, then like 55 years later, he then coincidentally just dies differently. So is that the act that, you know what I mean, doomed him?
Yes.
Better watch your act, Greedo, or somebody's going to shoot you without even you pulling your gun out at a cantina.
Just like Jedi, one bad decision leads you down a bad path.
It's like the gateway drugs.
But my big thing, though, is with him, he was carrying this big thing that looked like a giant silver lollipop. And I was like, he never uses it or like he's just got it. And I'm like, what was it?
Did he just give the thumbs up?
Yeah.
Is that the universal sign now for
Literally,
everything being okay?
It always has been universal, and this is a part of the universe. So, yeah, absolutely.
Right, they still know the old... I mean, Arnold can do it.
Yes, yeah. Oh, he can thumbs up better than anybody. This, I think nothing got anybody angrier than this moment when we are introduced to midichlorians.
Oh, yeah, this is the best.
Like, it just, like, instantly, we're just like, we're going to talk about something. Like, this is what makes Jedi. Where, like, I thought the Force is what made Jedi. And it's like, no, it's these little bacteria, essentially. It's like, they make you, like, see the Force if you have a lot of them. And, like, it just became...
Oh, my God.
Like,
sounds like getting the clap.
Like, it's one of those things, and it's, like... It's kind of like...
How is that supposed to explain it?
Yeah, I know. Like, to me, it's like with the whole religion thing. It's like, why are you, like, having anything to explain something else? Like, it's like, oh, well, this Bible doesn't talk about the dinosaurs. Yeah, the people who wrote the Bible didn't know about dinosaurs.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't have the technology or the wherewithal to dig and find these bones and
it's all these things, and it's just like, and I was like, stop, like, you're retconning the most useless shit.
Yeah, like, do we need to? I think I really need to explain what the Force is.
Yeah, it's the Force is the Force. Like, to me,
that's what was good about Return of the Last Jedi or whatever.
Yeah, like, to me, what Alec Guinness says in the first Star Wars is all you need. The Force is what binds, and then I say that, but then in Empire,
Yoda. There's the first 30 seconds of his 8 minutes of screen time.
Yeah, and he's out. But yeah, it's like Yoda says that good thing too about like how the Force like binds us and all these different things. I was like, boom, that's all I need. You do not have to go into detail. It's like the Force began in like 1932. Like, I was like, nope, don't.
Started as a hippie commune down in Utah.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Don't do that shit.
There is not enough for my action movie quota. Yeah. There's not enough Darth Maul to make his last scene that spectacular. You know what I mean? Like, you don't see him enough.
Yeah.
Suddenly he shows up, you're like, oh, we know this guy's a bad dude.
Yeah. I think they were jawsing him, though, to be honest. I think they were like, you know this guy's going to do something badass, and you're just like waiting for it.
He's just standing there, Marge. You know he's going to do something awesome.
Exactly. Like, it's just, like, but I think, like, they nailed it, like, as far as what they made him look like, what they made him sound like. Getting Ray Park, who is just this outstanding stuntman /
What's her name's daughter?
Yes, one of the Twi'leks.
Yeah. That's a hot race.
Mm-hmm. I always wondered if he meant, because he says he's a credit to your race. He's like, does he mean to humans or does he mean to the pod race?
Oh, is this his ladies or do they go around to everybody?
They're his slaves. You got to remember, everybody's slaves.
What a world, eh?
Yes.
The only way we're going to get that key to fire up that super pod is to beat him at a regular pod race.
Yeah.
But you have to get him close enough to the stand so that I can bend over and use the force to pull the key from off his neck.
Well, and this is a big thing of the overcomplicated shit. Like, because like everybody talks about like the overcomplicated politics of this movie. But even this bit is like to just get what they need. They're like, okay, so if he wins the race, then I get the parts that I need. You get to keep this money. I get to free him as a slave, and then you get to keep the old pod. Like, okay, do we got all that written down? Like, are we good? Like, here's the contract. Let's sign the contract, and then you see that
cheater.
You see that Bib Fortuna, Jabba the Hutt's like right-hand man guy with the tentacle around his neck and all that. He's a notary, and he comes and stamps it. Jabba no bother.
It's a good thing that kid's a good pod racer.
And then they invent a lot of animals like this too, which always bothers me. I know like Star Wars does this in every movie, but it's got that weird thing, and they literally had a fart scene in the previous thing.
My God. Okay, that's amazing that you mentioned farts.
Yeah.
I believe that every song in every movie ever made should have the fart version where either the characters are farting or just fart noises happen randomly.
Every song? You said every song.
Yeah, there should be singing.
Okay.
Also, the movies then should be, because obviously I fucked up.
That makes me want to see Cats
that
much
means
more.
that it should be,
See, this is why you age him up, because he's acting like a kid. Nobody is allowed to be mad at him for acting like a friggin' child. Like, the amount of child actors who can actually do it, like, you're not getting Haley Joel Osment.
I was just going to say Haley Joel Osment.
I was like, you're not getting him in every role.
Ruined him,
You're
too.
getting a kid who can barely fucking speak.
Children, okay, they speak about, like, the animals and all this stuff. Hey, that guy looks pretty cool.
That guy's weird because he looks like he's got the Cobra Kai skull makeup on for Halloween, but he's dressed like a friggin' astronaut in The Masked Singer.
I think that, something happened to his face, and that was his skull face underneath. That was kind of neat, actually. I dug that.
Yep. So here's our dual-headed announcer, and yes, that is Greg Proops who's doing the English bit from Whose Line Is It Anyway?
It is too.
I remember the first time I saw this movie, it was instant. I was just like, oh, yeah, could not be anybody else. Well, let's give a little shout out to the Nintendo 64's Star Wars Pod Racer game. That game was actually really good.
I know. I thought I really dug it too. I thought that was good. Vulva.
That would be amazing. The
Fill
vulva.
me with your cheers. I'm the vulva.
Rub me gently on the outside.
This would be a neat. Well, we'll have to see what they do with Star Wars. Maybe there's with Star Wars World, right? Like maybe I would like to see retro rides. I think that would be a big hit.
Yeah, that's a garbage character.
They added in a lot of just weird guys. Well, they always do, but
see, again, this is when
this reminds me of wacky races with all these crazy wacky
It totally did. There's a random elephant guy. Oh, he was the guy from the cantina in the original Star Wars. Now that I'm seeing him, but the CG guys look like ridiculous, and the other guys, while the
is that the Pixar lamp?
Pretty much.
Like holy fuck.
Yeah. But pretty much like the practical characters, they look silly, but they don't look as silly as the other ones. Like, I totally buy them. I'm like, yeah, he's a weird, alligator-looking guy, whatever. I also don't understand this. I am the flag bearer.
For each of their respective countries, well, there should be...
Oh, here's this fart joke. I thought it was from before. See, I don't...
Oh, my God. Did they really... How much did that fart joke just cost?
That fart
Like,
joke probably
oh my God.
that fart joke probably cost like a McDonald's worker's salary.
Like for the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
that's what the word
holy
salary is.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think it's celery.
Oh yes, it cost them some salary. $1.97 at
Yeah.
Walmart. And it's definitely got E. coli.
Oh, I didn't know if you meant yearly. I didn't know if you meant, you know.
I understand. You're 100% right.
Oh
in how
my
you-
God. This kid, like, who even believes this? The
See,
kid's
yeah.
like 5.
But you can't tell me if that was like a 12, 13-year-old that it would be 1,000,000% better.
Yeah, why did they choose him so young? And he does seem way younger than...
Yeah.
He is way younger than what's out there. Although girls, you know, they develop faster than boys.
They sure do. But the it blows my mind. I think that they could have made everything make from like a timing perspective, everything would have made just as much sense for him getting older, but everything with his interactions with Padme moving forward would be way better.
Hey, there's Leia's bikini.
What a good catch, because I've never noticed that, and I saw that when I was reading the trivia today.
Oh, is it really her bikini?
Yes, that is apparently Gardula the Hutt in the background, who Anakin says used to own him and his mom.
Is that Jabba's old lady?
I think they're related. I don't know if they're into it like that. But you also did see Bib Fortuna, his right-hand man, was there, a younger version of him. This is a really well done scene.
I like the scene.
This is this is the kind of thing like you can pick apart, because people always say, like, when you see people ranking the movies, except now when they're all overreacting about, they're like, oh, Rise of Skywalker is the worst one. But they like, everybody was always like, oh, episode 1's the worst one. I'm like, no, episode 2 is worse than episode 1, because I can find a lot more shit that I really enjoyed about this movie that you pull out, and there's a lot of like good stuff in this. And to give an example, the famed internet thing, the Phantom Edit. Some UFC students I think they took the Japanese laser disc and they recut the movie with all the footage that they had in it, but they took out the bulk of, like, not all the Jar Jar Binks scenes, but the silly ones. Like that P you saw was probably not in the Phantom Edit.
Right.
And apparently it was getting a lot of traction. And then what was really funny is George Lucas, no offense taken, he's like, I would love to see it.
That's cool.
He's like, I'd love to check it out. And then 20th Century Fox went bananas, and they were like, you're not allowed, like, you legally can't make copies and things like that, and blah, 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 and threatened to sue them and shut the whole thing down.
Well, yeah, they're the boss, man. They're the boss.
Well, which is kind of weird, because I thought, I guess they own, I figured through Lucas's deal, they would have owned enough that wouldn't have been a problem.
Yeah,
so there's Warwick Davis again, bottom corner. They squeeze him in as often as they can get him. See, for how fast-paced this stuff is, he should have already lost.
I know, like, he's way far.
Yeah. It's good to see,
he's like,
though.
oh, geez. At least somebody else is stuck with me.
Yeah, it's good to see that breakdowns happen enough that 2 people currently haven't started this race.
Well, they're coming out of a junkyard. Mm-hmm. That's just a weird thing. It's like 2... Oh, no, he's in the front. In the back of it is...
Yeah, it's weird.
The pods?
Yes. Yeah, those are the actual engines that are pushing the thing along. They look like
2 separated engines from a plane.
Yep.
That have been strapped on by a couple... Mm-hmm. Like it's dead.
Oh, absolutely. And they were saying it's a very dangerous sport. They had something similar in the Knights of the Old Republic games, swoop racing, which had a similar vibe to it, except it was really just like a drag race as opposed to like a track race. Just saying.
This looks like the old caves from like Indy.
Oh, absolutely.
Where they went in to find the Ark of the Covenant.
Oh, totally.
Oh, I had some people watching.
Yeah.
This totally reminds me of that story that sailor lady had told me when she was in Mexico.
When she was pod
And
racing?
it was like a giant, essentially it's just like a wacky race.
Yeah.
Only you go across the desert, it's like 3 days, and your route is totally set.
Uh-huh.
But you drive these huge, they're like monster trucks, but the wheels are like giant scoops because you're in the desert.
Oh, okay.
And she said that it was unbelievable. And she said that they'll literally just, oh, hey, there's Buddy.
Yep.
They rip right through a town. And they said that because you can drive your own car if you want, or you can have somebody drive it for you.
Really?
And they said that if you're driving yourself and you run over somebody, keep going.
Oh, really?
They were like, keep going, do not get out.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Because apparently the people, they say that the towns know when they're coming through and to stay off the road and stuff, right? But they said that you'll still see people standing there.
Yeah,
and
are you saying this is the one in Europe?
No, it was in Mexico or something.
Oh, okay. Because there's one in Europe called the Gumball Rally. You can actually see two different groups of jackass people did it and shot like movie length like versions of them doing the Gumball Rally. Out of this world. The one that it's Johnny Knoxville, Steve-O, Chris Pontius, and like the director and like stuff like that. They all went and they took 3 cars. They got piece of shit cars, and you got people there with like $500,000 Lamborghinis and all these different things. And there was one guy who literally he flipped one of those things over, destroyed his car, just abandoned it and got in somebody else's car. He's like, gotta keep going. And they were like, his ear, he was like all taped shut, and he's like, oh yeah, I tore it off a bit. So he's like, I just taped it. It's like, don't you need to go to the hospital? He's like, no, you got to finish the gumball.
you just go the gumball.
But like these guys were all bananas, and like I guess like there was this big border problem getting across like the Turkish border or something. So one of the racers went in and stole the keys from a truck driver and stopped the entire thing. And then like basically he's like, you let us all across or nobody's moving. And it was like these guys are bananas, but like it's very
like
much
one of these crazy race movies, right? Like
it's
where it's the Cannonball
Run, except it's across 13 countries.
That's awesome.
I'll see if I can find it for you. I can find the Bam Margera one a lot easier, but that one's nowhere near as good because it's basically they just keep stopping to skateboard at weird places. But the other one is them. It's a very jackass version where they're pranking each other but they're like interacting with the people more and stuff like that. It's way better.
Right.
Way better.
That sounds kind of cool, actually.
It is.
Steve-O's really pulled himself around. He's doing really great with himself. Bam's a mess.
Yeah.
Bam is being a mess. There's something.
He's put on tons of weight. Ryan Dundyne kind of threw him up for a loop.
Well, I think it was always what's weird though is because he comes from a good family and everything too. He's just really He's into the sauce too much. Whoa.
Yeah. Well, and that was the thing is like he didn't even start drinking until like well into Jackass and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden he became like a degenerate. But I can't blame him because, you know.
What the fuck, man? Being a degenerate's the best way to live, man.
For sure.
He's in a spin out here. Mm-hmm. Oh, he's going to connect. He's got to reconnect them.
Yeah. Just a weird, interesting fact about this movie. This is the only movie of the first 6 movies that does not mention the Death Star in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So that's another thing, too, because they're like even with, like, the Force Awakens, and they're, Death Star, Death Star. Every fucking movie talked about the Death Star in the original ones.
Oh, he's only here? He's way back.
Yeah, he's got some catching up to do.
He's pretty confident.
He's doing his best. God.
He's pretty good, man.
Yeah.
Pulled that line in. I remember surprised the whole thing didn't go flying off the handle and like explode, but you know.
But like for what this scene is and stuff, it's like it is a very long scene. Like it's 9.5 minutes of just a race.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Apparently, if you buy the novelization of this, the whole first chapter is only about pod racing.
Nice.
So it's not even this race. I think it just explains pod racing.
You got to know the rules, man.
Yeah.
There he is! Wahoo!
Wahoo! I'm going to give you one guess. No, I'm going to give you 2 guesses.
Okay.
As to who you think who wanted to play Jar Jar Binks, who requested to play Jar Jar Binks.
Pee Wee Herman.
That's actually a very good guess, but no.
So he requested to be the voice.
He wants to perform Jar Jar Binks. Well, at this point, they thought that Jar Jar Binks might actually be a practical person too.
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams would have been great, but no. Michael Jackson.
No way. He was too busy making The Wiz.
He flat out. Oh, that was
right there. That was like in that town thing. But that sounds so cool when she told me the story of it. Like I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god! And dreams like this, where you're like, oh shit, like you're so high in the air, and then you're like, oh my god, like now we have to go down.
I think I told you about the weird dream I had, like when aliens came and then they like killed us all and I actually died in the dream. Like, you know how you usually wake up? I just died. Everything went black and it was black for a long time.
Whoa. We're dead for real now, man. You died for real.
But what happened was, like you remember those aliens from the very beginning of The Fifth Element, who were like those big, like kind of shelled kind of creatures? Well, it was like those guys. We were at a bowling alley. It was
those guys were nice guys.
Yeah, I was at this bowling alley, and all of a sudden you hear this like weird like music that's like and they all come walking by, and they go into the back room, and all of a sudden you feel like a little rumble, and we looked out the window, and all of a sudden you just see we're looking down, the entire earth is on fire, and we're raising up as like so fast, and all of a sudden we're like in space, and all of a sudden I realize I can't breathe, and then just black.
Whoa, you think they would have hooked you up with a mask or something?
No, they weren't interested. They just wanted the building, I think, because we all died.
Oh man, even me?
You weren't there. I didn't have a dream.
Thank
you were not in this
God.
Dream. You were on the burning earth, I'm assuming.
No, I was with those guys. I left way before. They came and got me first.
Yeah.
So like, you set up the party room, brah.
Teach me the ways.
Get the tunes going.
Mm-hmm. And this is another thing, too, because he's this little kid. He can only do things so fast, but he's supposed to be showing how he has, like, the reflexes of a Jedi. He's not doing anything fast. Like, he's doing
like a dumbass kid.
Yeah, he's doing everything as fast as
they had to slow it down so we could see it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like...
Just slow-mo.
Yeah, like Jet Li in Lethal Weapon 4. That's basically...
He's like so fast, they have to like slow it down so you can see his moves.
Yeah. Jake Lloyd is Jet Li.
Oh my God, I'm sure Michael Jackson was going to be Jar.
Wouldn't that... I want to see the Jackson cut.
That's the real one.
That's
Hashtag the Jackson cut.
Just
put Michael into anything for me. That would be great. Yeah, this thing's still going here. We got 15 more laps.
Could you imagine if this was just the whole movie and like it ended and it's like, you're free. And it's like, you'll be a Jedi now. And then that's the end. Oh,
that would be amazing.
I would lose my mind.
You're a Jedi.
So good.
I love you, Padme. Now I hate you. Get away from me. Oh, they're all tangled up.
Yeah, and somebody else who tried to get in this movie, rumored to have been tried to be Mace Windu. I don't know nobody knows for sure, but Tupac Shakur, really.
Really?
Yeah,
was
really.
He dead by then?
I apparently not.
From Beyond the Grave.
Well, remember, like it was probably like mid-90s when they were casting this movie, right? Or like when it was announced that they were going to be doing it.
Right.
So. Like probably even like 90s.
Yeah, how hardcore 94. You know Tupac as Jar Jar. Yo, it's me, Jar Jar Binks.
You're gonna be a Jedi now.
Greedo.
Yeah.
Greedo, you keep dancing like that, you're gonna meet an untimely end, brother.
That would have been amazing.
Keep shaking your hips like that.
And it's like things like this, like, what is that decision? Corona.
Now let's have him grooving.
No. But what is that decision? Like, they're like, yeah, just quick, like, dance together.
They're so happy.
I did it.
The impartial judge.
Yeah.
Is the other races over there, brah?
I like in the credits, when you'll find in the credits that it's listed that Jabba the Hutt plays himself.
Nice. He always did.
Yeah, he came out for that. Interesting. I think I've mentioned it in the previous ones, but in the radio plays, Ed Asner plays Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah.
So, Up and Jabba the Hutt.
He's like, yeah, don't kiss me. That's gross.
Yeah.
I'm sure they would even allow a child of his age to enter this race. Like,
but it's Boonta Eve. You gotta get... Well, and he's also a slave. Nobody gives a flying fuck if he dies.
How many people you think that place fits?
Oh, wow. Probably the whole goddamn planet, it looks like. I don't know.
Now, right now, I want to see another shot of the crowd as they exit, because this is going to be way more people that will be at this Sunday's WrestleMania.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be funny if it went out to, like, because they always show such weird detail, they go to the outside and you see the parking lot of all their speeders and stuff like that, and they're all, like, trying to get out, and they're like, oh, come on!
I think that, for one, if I was Vince McMahon doing WrestleMania, the way that they're doing it this year where it's pre-taped, I would have one of the matches where the audience is like a video game crowd. You know what I mean? Where it's like the same three guys. They're like, yeah, you know what I mean? They're like, yeah, they should really have fun with it.
Each match has a crowd from a different video game.
Yeah.
So you have like the one where you hear, mankind is a god.
Yeah, totally. That'd be so wicked.
Oh man, I would love that so badly.
I can't wait. I'm actually really interested in seeing it.
I saw a little bit of, I think, the first SmackDown or whatever, and I was just like...
It was weird.
I was so visually thrown off. I was like, What kills me about those is the idea, and I don't even know why we're talking about this, because by the time this comes out, it'll have been 2 months removed almost.
Well, so we talk, something crazy is going to happen.
Yeah. But it's like...
John Cena versus coronavirus.
But like they used to be able to, like, you know, when there's a big crowd, they could like call out their moves to each other and stuff like that. And they can't do that when there's nobody.
Oh, they got it down to a science. They can do it.
Get lost, cat. Todd,
Leave him.
Todd, no. Todd keeps inviting the cat, and it's actually making things like worse.
No, it's not. Look at what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm getting the cat fucking out of here so you're not distracted.
You're such an animal hater. Oh, fuck, now the car alarm. See, the animal abuse alarm's going off again on you.
Well, just because I burn my cats with cigarettes doesn't mean
he doesn't even smoke. Lights are up.
I go through 2 packs a day, and it's just to burn my animals.
Yeah, and he forces his kid to take a drag off of this to start it up. I'm going to put it out of the cat's face.
And I could very easily just cut it off and light it again. And just, like, I could probably go through 1 cigarette, like
nope.
18 burnings. I also like the idea, like, he has not even consulted the mother about freeing her son. And just like, yeah, by the way, I'm going to take this dude with me, and you're on your own. And he's like, you're just going to be fun. Like,
I got a good feeling about this kid.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
You go with this weird, strange man who doesn't have a ride home.
Oh. Nope.
No. Sounds like my son. Free mommy, please. Get her out of the cage.
Wow. I mean, they just run off with her. What are they going to do? Sorry, Mom. See ya.
No, they point that out. They have tracker things in it. They could literally blow their heads up if they try to.
Oh my God! You're just gonna leave? Would you leave your mom like this, bro? Like, come on, with a stranger?
And he's totally down for it. He's like, you're gonna come with me. It's like, you're gonna come with me and be a Jedi. That sounds way cooler than hanging out here with my stupid mom.
My broke ass mom.
Yeah, she's a fucking slave, and I'm free is bullshit.
Just go. I don't have any more food, anyways. So, see ya. You're not really my son. Whatever.
Guess I'll miss you, whatever.
Greedo's my son. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, I knew Greedo looked just like you.
Everything makes me sad.
Go finish your acting lessons. We'll fix the movie up. Give her a Jedi bang before she goes. Knock her up with a Jedi.
Well, that's actually what they said, too, is like... there was questions about like him putting his hand on her shoulder. Like
impregnated.
That's how it happens. That's how it happened with him. Because she was like immaculate conception to have him. Although there's a lot of like digging in where they're saying like that potentially Darth Plagueis, who was Darth Sidious's like Sith master and stuff like that, might have actually created him.
Ooh, that's like a good metal band named Sith Master.
Yeah. Well, because like in episode 3, he talks about how Darth Plagueis like was able to create life.
She's like, I've lost more sons that way.
Yeah. She's like, I had 8 kids. Yes. Being a slave when you don't have your own little personal slaves is a real pain in the dick.
You can't even run, he's so young.
Oh, could you imagine living upstairs on one of those things? Like, what if you came home drunk? It looks like it's soap.
Oh my God. Yeah, look at this. There's not even a railing.
Yeah.
That is dangerous as fuck. Yeah.
But again, slaves. Don't care.
You don't have to go, kid.
Yeah. But he wants to be a Jedi because that's rad.
Did he mention that to him?
Yeah.
Did he say, hey, you want to come be a Jedi with me, kid?
And the thing that also irks me is he calls it a laser sword and nobody corrects him. He's like, it's called a lightsaber. You probably want to get to know that little Jedi.
Oh,
dude.
They're like, who cares? They probably said the line a million times. Yeah. They're like, just let him say laser sword.
Well, even fucking, like, even in Rise of Skywalker, Luke Skywalker, who's like Force ghosty and shit, calls it a laser sword at one point. Or no, in that was Last Jedi. He does
That's the real name then.
Yeah.
Clearly there has been an argument the universe over.
Yeah.
Bro, Manzier, lightsaber, phaser sword.
Yeah.
Taser.
A pew pew.
Pew pew pew. This would be a neat place to check out, right? If they had the set there still.
Oh yeah, that'd be really neat. Although I'm not going to Tunisia.
Oh my God, I thought that was like the NFL camera.
Yes.
That they use on like the string.
when do they get that technology of those really like independently flying drones like that, where they get close ups, so like get right into the action.
like after this whole shit goes down,
Yeah.
then everything goes kind of back to the the Dark Ages, because all the technology's not as good. Oh shit!
Yeah. Well, the technology
Oh,
gets
shit.
The technology gets bigger and more industrious. Like, this is kind of like picture like making cars in the 70s where it was like an art form to now just being utilitarian and mass produced, right?
Ooh, got ourselves a little tussle in the sand here.
But it was cool to see them actually, like, look at them actually move and fight. Watching them train was actually really badass too. Like, you see how fucking hard they were working.
Yeah, just for a 2-second shot of you swinging your
Yeah, but I mean, like,
beam sword around.
but to choreograph a chunk like that is like pretty. It takes some considerate work, and this isn't the only scene. There's also a gigantic scene later, right?
Ooh,
So
cool.
he
We
has-
didn't get to see the other end of her.
Yeah. And you could see his like really long hilt, because usually they don't like the Jedi or the lightsaber hilts have always been like quite small, like basically just big enough for two hands to be on. And
That's all you need.
yeah, but what's his face there? Ray Park was like, because his is obviously a double lightsaber. When they gave him the small one, he's like, I can't like spin this and do the moves you want me to do unless it's a longer hilt. So they had to design a special one for
Yeah,
him.
because I was gonna say it didn't look like on the bottom of that thing that another beam could come out.
Yeah, it's
It
not a
looked like
whole.
a straight.
Well, but it's like that technically on the top too. It's a
Ooh,
yeah,
it's
I know.
a cool chair.
I wish I had one of those. Have you ever seen somebody like made a bike like that one time, and they replaced the wheels with all these like gear-ridden
I think I've seen
feet?
that with that science show.
Yeah.
That's, I don't know the name of it, but it was one of those on the Discovery Channel, like neat gadgets and gears and neat things. Yeah, and it showed this spider leg. That thing's better than the Napper Crapper.
What the fuck is that?
Remember the Napper Crapper from?
I
It
wouldn't
was.
have
It
asked
was.
what the fuck is
It's
that.
essentially just a lazy boy with a hole in the bottom, so you can take a shit while you're watching TV.
That's the worst idea.
It was
ever.
from not batteries not included. It was from that movie. Stay tuned.
Oh fuck.
That thing's way better. That thing brings you right there.
Yeah,
That thing's probably the thing when you take a poop, it just eats it. It eats the poop right out your bum.
that'd be all right. You gotta have like, it's like whatever the next step up is from the blue chemical shit in the
In the toilet?
in the no no, but like in the like the porta potties, you need something else that just dissolves it away, and like all odors and all that shit. All that shit, literally.
All that shit.
It's the other thing too. He's like, it's cold in space. I'm like, do you not have like the heater on in your spaceship? It's just like whatever the
conserving
temperature is outside, which would be negative. Like, I don't know the temperature. of
Jar
fucking space,
Jar
but it's
took a 42-minute shower, which just rocked the place. Like, you son of a bitch.
Wouldn't that be amazing if on top of being like clumsy, he was just like a socially inept dick like that?
He just doesn't even know.
He's just like,
Used all the towels.
yeah. He's like the kind of guy, like everybody's clearly watching one movie that they're all into, and he sits down in between all of them and changes the channel.
Yeah, that's like Buddy at work.
Oh, fuck that guy, man.
Oh, no, agreed.
I don't know him, but fuck him.
No, seriously, everybody's like, fuck right off. He almost had, like, I hid the remote on him, because he'll literally be the type of guy that walks in, grabs the remote off of you, and then turns the news on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not putting up with this shit, so I hid the remote. And when he came in, dude, honest to God, at the end of it, he was like frothing at the mouth, going like, "Go break the TV! Oh fuck, I can't watch this! I gotta watch the news! Like, I'm not even joking you." And then everybody's looking at me because I hid the remote. It's like, okay, so let's not pay attention to the fact that he's losing his mind because he's not getting his own way about a television channel.
Yeah.
He was here later. He can't pick the channel.
Yeah.
Like, we're already in the room. We already agreed we're all going to watch this. And
Yeah.
now it's okay. Now I'm the dick because I'm not letting
Yeah.
asshole fucking McGee here get his own way.
Yeah. There's
You know what I
his,
mean? It's like, we're all used to him having his own way. Now it's a thing, so you better let him have his own way. I'm like, fuck you.
I know, I get it. Yeah. Well, it's because nobody wants the squeaky wheel to squeak, you know what I mean?
Oh, is this the scene or is it in the next one?
No, it's the next one that you're thinking of. I
Oh,
can
that
already
cool
tell.
scene where they're jumping around all the cars.
So these guards, these are like the precursors to the red Imperial guards that you see in like the original trilogy. And we get to meet Chancellor Valorum. So there's a
There she
Keira Knightley
is.
shot again. So here we go. Terrence Stamp as Chancellor Valorum.
Terrence motherfucking Stamp.
Gotta love him. He was the voice, just like a little thing on him, he was the voice of Jor-El in Smallville, but was obviously Zod in Superman too.
That's right. He certainly was.
I just found that funny. Like I
forgot he was Zod, actually.
But just more recent things too. He just signed up to be in Edgar Wright's movie, Last Night in Soho. He was in Adam Sandler's Murder Mystery on Netflix.
That's right. I watched some of it. What a romp.
Yeah, he was in Big Eyes. So he's always he's a working actor.
Yeah, he gets lots. That's the kind of career I'd like to have.
Oh, absolutely. And he's one of those guys who could very easily just move from, he's like, yeah, you can be a really serious guy. You could be a sci-fi guy. You could be a comedy guy. It doesn't matter. Like, he was, one of my favorite roles he did was in Bowfinger, where he's like the head of Mindhead.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That was a great movie. That was a very smart movie that I don't think a lot of people appreciated.
Always keep it in the pants.
You know, okay, this is a question. How, you're a driver.
Yeah.
How the hell would this work? Would they have different levels? Okay, like level 1 is the closest to the ground. Level 2, then like, you know, level 3. How the hell?
Well, I do imagine that's how that they number their levels like numbers work.
It would have to be, because like it would just be chaos.
But from a driving standpoint, I appreciate that. Like, you think I could transfer my driving skills to what that is. I imagine they've come up with some set of rules over the period of time. But cities like this, I did read about Coruscant and stuff like that. It's one of those places that, like, they're so high up now that the bottom levels can't even see the sun. Because they're.
I dig that idea. I like that.
Like, they're miles and miles and
miles.
Like
in Blade Runner, we're way below the smog line is where all the poor people live.
Yeah, and that's essentially where they're at right now. Coruscant has been a thing in Star Wars since kind of the beginning, and they finally
maybe when you come to this planet.
Yeah.
Oh, Jar Jar Binks just got taken off by somebody.
Yeah.
You're done. Just leave.
So
just get your shit together. Just get out of here.
This is Ian McDiarmid, who always played, except the original, the re-release of Empire Strikes Back with somebody else. Yeah, the pre-re. But he was the Emperor in Return of the Jedi, and he was fantastic then. He is fantastic in all 3 of these movies.
I agree.
And he still fantastic when he played the Emperor in The Rise of Skywalker most recently.
I can't wait to see it.
He is...
Is it out on the DVDs yet?
Mm-hmm. What's that?
Is it out on DVD?
I think today it might have come out.
Oh, no way.
Actually, no.
What a weird...
I should have
always works out like that, eh? Yeah. I got to see that one, so I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I haven't closed off the saga, man.
I know. And then...
so J.J. Abrams, he probably did shit. It's probably garbage.
You said you liked Force Awakens.
I hated it. No, I liked it.
I really like focusing on the Jedi around here, because, I mean, only so many of them get any real attention at this point. So, obviously, this is the first time we're seeing...
Sam Jackson?
Yeah. Yeah, so originally when this movie came out, all of Yoda was still a puppet, because they weren't there with the digital. So you can see another Yoda there right in front of Qui-Gon. That's Yaddle.
He's got a wig on.
Yeah, we've talked about her before. That's a female Yoda. And
look at how long his rat tail is now. How long has this been?
I don't know.
Look, wait till you see Ewan.
Oh yeah,
they should have kept him a puppet, for fuck's sakes.
Well, they did for the first movie, and because it wasn't there, but then they ended up going back when the Blu-ray re-release came, and they digitized him. So because the puppet didn't they made him look like he looked weird compared to the other puppet, because they tried to young up the puppet,
right?
And they were like, so that looked kind of weird.
He looks just as old the whole time.
So but that's where they failed, and so they're trying to cover that up now.
He's just as old, only now he's a cartoon.
Yeah.
Where'd that big Adam's apple motherfucker go?
Oh, I don't know. He's around.
Big old neck.
He has 2 brains, by by the way. And
2 brains?
And an extra heart. Just so you know.
So could you kill one brain and the other brain would keep working?
Probably.
Or is it just one brain work like the left side of our brain, one whole brain works like the right side?
No, I don't think so. I think they work in tandem, but I think it's what makes them kind of force attuned and all that kind of stuff.
This is going to be you, buddy, at the hotel.
Oh,
I'm very interested, like we were saying before, because now I get special perks on my... I hope it's going to be free front of the line. or something. That would be neat.
Yeah, but that's a lot of people. Like that's like it would almost not. You'd almost have to pay to get a front of the line.
Naked sculptures.
Yeah, I've never noticed that one before.
Look at this one. This one's got boobs, but it's like a milk jug with boobs. It's about femininity, Joe. You don't even understand art. Jesus.
I love that. I really do like the structures and stuff that they created for this planet and stuff. Like the Jedi Temple from the outside looks awesome. This is obviously
here we
Senate.
go. The ETs are in here somewhere.
Yeah, when you're looking
where
hard,
are they?
you actually find the ETs. You find other Wookiees in this. You find like all sorts of different things. If you're really eagle-eyed.
We're still on
like
Naboo?
No, Jesus Christ.
Where are we?
We haven't been on Naboo for like 45 minutes. They left Naboo. They ended up on Tatooine.
We're still on Tatooine.
No.
Where are we now?
We're on Coruscant. I've said it.
This movie doesn't even make sense. Suddenly they're just here.
If by suddenly you mean they traveled, like that was the whole point of being on Tatooine was to get the stuff so they could get here.
If you say so. Okay, wait, let's look. Wait.
Yeah. No, you don't see them from this angle. You see them from it's not even in this scene, I don't think. I think it's during the Supreme. Oh, maybe it is.
There is a lot of crazy shit going on in this movie, though, man. I really do give them props for just all the craziness going on. Look at this floating thing around. Kind of looks like Cerebro if they added a shit ton. I
feel like this is what the UN should be.
Wouldn't it be more aliens?
Yeah, well, definitely more aliens, but like I would watch like all the C-SPAN kind of things if that was.
I agree. It would be way more interesting. How does everybody get their word in though? Like Jesus, there's a lot of platforms there, man.
Yeah, I feel like you have to like make a specific request to like release your platform so then you can go up, and it's
right. It's like now it's 8:15.
Yeah.
You can speak. Come
like,
up.
Yeah, there's some moderator who's like, no, everybody's not getting off right now. It's like these two people are talking. When they come back, you can get out. This hair thing is kind of amazing too.
There's a Vulcan.
Yeah, that would be. She does look very Vulcan, doesn't she? Holy shit. They digitized her voice. You can notice, like, she is speaking in a different manner there.
Oh, there's some birds. There's a Greedos.
Yeah. But there's a, like, so basically she changed kind of her tone and stuff to be different from Padme, between, like, Amidala and Padme. But they also, like, digitized her voice a little bit, so it's got, like, this extra little resonance in it. So it's down there. It's hard to point when we're across from each other. Yeah. But yeah, you'll see them all in there. Oh, there's the ETs right down there, bottom left corner. But it was the Wookiees in the other one.
That is fucking don't listen to this prick.
So, and remember now, like, he has made all this happen because he's the guy who made the Trade Federation go there in the first place. Then he's the one who, like, put everything in the way so that they couldn't, like, do anything about it politically. So now they're creating the vote of no confidence and all that shit.
Just like in Hungary.
Yeah, but pretty much.
That is so fucked. Putin just did the same thing recently, where he went to all of the Congress or whatever they call it there, and they were like, you know, all of a sudden everybody from Congress was like, you know what? I just feel like stepping down today. Do you? Yeah, we all just feel like stepping down, and Putin, you can have it all. Yeah. Like, what a funny coincidence. Now he's like the ultimate supreme leader forever.
Yeah. Well, they do these things because they still have elections, but he wins with like 98% of the vote.
He's in a room filled with aliens, and the only one perplexing him is the black man. He's like, where are you from?
Yeah. Don't put your hood up. I have like the right to defend myself.
Yeah. I can't wait to see what's her name. I really like that story with. Well, they call her Padme in that one, too. The cartoon one. It was really good.
Oh, in Clone Wars.
Yes.
Yeah. Ray Park, actually, it's interesting because while Peter Serafinowicz voiced what's-his-face in this movie, Ray Park voices him in the Clone Wars, including, like, the last season of Clone Wars he appears, and he's the voice in that. But in Solo, he's also the voice of Darth Maul. Like, so Peter Serafinowicz no longer does the voice of Darth Maul, and they've allowed Ray Park to do it because he's more known
I swear to God, I thought I just saw the Enterprise.
You may have.
Oh no, it was this looking one. Okay, what I was gonna say before is maybe when you come into town, it's like at the drive-in where you click into a frequency, and it takes the car for you. You know what I mean? Like you type in where you want to go, and it automatically goes, and the traffic's all.
I would agree with you, except that there's like in the next movie, there's a car chase scene essentially.
You can
manually take over. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Like Johnny Cab, you just rip that guy out, call him an asshole, and you take over.
Yeah, you gotta call him an asshole. You know who he reminded me of a lot? I remember when this came out, I was like, because this was also around the time, like, Ocarina of Time was fairly new at this point, and all I thought of is he would make the perfect, like, Ganondorf.
Awesome. I'm really hoping that they continue with, I don't think that's a bad pick for Ganondorf, actually.
He's got, like, the kind of,
he does
like,
have this
Gerudo
look
features
to him. He's got a look to him, though. I feel like I've seen him in something before, or... He looks very familiar. Is that real hair, you think?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, on her, in the character, that's not her hair. She's wearing it.
Oh, no, she's absolutely... I could...
So it's like the wig made of real hair.
I would say probably. It's probably not a lot of hair. Like, it's not like all hair. It's probably hair wrapped over something.
Right.
But yeah, probably. I thought you were talking about his hair. You kind of blew my mind for a minute. You're like, do you think that's his hair? I'm like, it doesn't look that weird.
Dude, hair looks weird.
Yeah. But yeah, he was also in The Lost City of Z, which is what you were telling me about, I think, wasn't it? On Netflix?
No, I was watching Zed Nation.
Oh, Zed Nation. Okay. Well, it's still something.
It's getting a little crazy.
But yeah.
It's getting a little long in the tooth.
Oh, long tooth. Saber-toothed zombies?
No, there was a grizzly bear zombie, though. Mm-hmm. It was kind of neat.
Ooh, she just threw out some sass.
Oh, look at she's got look at some weird, they got they're very flowy robes, these guys.
Well, because you know why? Anytime you turn around and walk away, it's just instantly better. If like something like flows.
If it's like flip,
if you can whip your hair or do any of that stuff.
Have they been sitting there the whole time waiting for these guys?
They've been going in and out, right? Because they tested him.
He's falling asleep. He's been sitting there all day.
He's fucking like 855 years old at this point. Yeah, he's... even older.
Falling, I am.
He's probably like 875, actually.
Qui-Gon there's like, I gotta take a shit, and they came back 12 hours later. Mm-hmm. Keep the queen waiting, motherfucker. Oh, speaking of the queen, so I guess Meghan Markle and what's his name, they showed up for half a day, and now they're off to Hollywood.
Yeah. We really need to stop being topical during things that are not happening for 2 months, because nobody gives a fuck.
What?
Yeah, it was like that will already be done by the time
they'll be in LA already. She'll already be up for a movie.
She's on Suits 2. It's
Oh
the
my God,
only TV show. The only TV show with a sequel, not a spinoff, a flat out sequel. Suits 2.
Wait, watch when you see him. You look at how long his rat tail is now.
Yeah.
What?
Well, no, that's not his rat tail. That's the braid that's always been there. Like his rat tail still is rat tail.
Oh, that's like beside it.
Yes, that's just a braid coming down from the side of his head.
Oh, I thought that was like his he's been willing it with his Jedi powers.
Yeah.
He's been wasting it all, growing his hair.
I love that. Like, this is, again, one of my favorite things about casting Sam Jackson. It doesn't take a whole lot to get him in there. You're just like, hey, we want you to be in this movie. Well, you want me to be in a Star Wars movie? Fuck, I'm there.
That's pretty much it.
And that was basically Liam Neeson too. He did this sight unseen. There was no script when he agreed to do this movie.
Oh God! Then you get the script and you're like, oh Jesus.
Well, people, I guess, very much like Alec Guinness, where a lot of people said, oh, he hated the movie. He hated doing it, and he was like a pain in the ass and stuff like that. But like a lot of like what they say about Alec Guinness, like everybody who was like involved, they're like, he was wonderful and professional and courteous and like was helpful during the whole thing. And it's the same thing with Liam Neeson. And Liam Neeson also said, he's like, I loved my time doing this movie. It was like, I don't know what anybody's talking about.
Yeah, they did say, well, maybe afterwards he was like, oh, it was a bit of a slog and he didn't like it, but he's a gentleman, he's a Brit.
Yeah.
You know?
But no, but even after the fact, they're like, oh, we heard you didn't like making the movie. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I thought that was like a thing that was like a, but then when, on set, he's obviously a nice guy. He doesn't bitch to anybody, but then outside, he's like, oh man, that kind of sucked.
No, yeah. That's I think what they felt like what was the case. So they asked him and he's like, no.
Great actor.
Yeah. I love Liam Neeson. And they actually wanted to hire like an American to play him. They had some weird people.
Billy Zane?
No. Who was it? I think Oh no, it wasn't to play Qui-Gon. I think it was to play like Obi Wan Kenobi. Like they said, like Harry Connick Jr. was considered, and I'm like, under what circumstances was he considered? You're like, you gotta get an old Bayou boy to take over.
Well, yeah, come on. He was in. He should play Gambit in the Gambit film.
In a younger day, that would have been worked out really well.
He was amazing in Independence Day.
I loved him in Independence
Proved
Day.
his acting chops.
Yes, was through space.
Also, he was that murderer in that movie with Halle Berry.
Copycat.
Copycat. Nicely done. That planet's got hella acne.
That was
See
Sigourney Weaver, wasn't it?
What?
Sigourney Weaver was in that, wasn't it?
Copycat. No, it was Halle Berry, I think. Ooh.
So we're getting... The fun thing is, I know there were people who didn't know that Palpatine and Sidious were the same person, despite the fact that the Emperor is Emperor Palpatine.
They're going to have the same name. It's like Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
I don't fucking know who's who.
They're twins.
Well, exactly. Or he's his clone, or his clone's twin, or whatever
Yeah.
the fuck.
Well, it's funny because you're getting a lot of information that you never got from the original trilogy either. You do, like, there's information if you like get into like the like extended shit and stuff like that. That's how you find out his name was Darth Sidious and all that kind of stuff. But like in the movies, you never hear anybody call the Emperor Darth Sidious in the original thing because he's not a Sith. The Sith don't exist.
That's actually Natalie Portman, right?
That's actually Natalie Portman, yeah. I got to see the shot again just to make sure that Natalie.
I think it is her.
I think so.
No, I don't.
Oh, wait.
Now I'll never know.
I need to see the long shot because I think
it's
she
her.
was... Oh, yeah, no, she's good. She's good.
I was not 100% on that.
I'm never 100% because it's so tight. Like, it's...
I just, you know, that's just such a good that it's Keira Knightley. Man, I never fucking knew that.
Yeah. I've known that. That's something I've known for, like, a really long time. It was just, I think is fairly common knowledge. But, yeah. Oh, there's birds. I don't trust this planet.
What? Like, this is the planet I would trust.
Yeah. I had slow motion birds. This
the
is
Ewoks?
This is planet John Woo.
Oh my god. It's just like slow-mo doves. Yeah. You move regularly, but the doves are all in slow-mo?
I feel like they're shooting this like 80 feet away from Skywalker Ranch. Like they literally, like if you turn like 15 degrees to the right, you'll see like fucking like hipster dudes like sitting like hacky sacking during their lunch break.
They probably join them. Look, they look like a bunch of fucking hippies. Well, he does.
Yeah. He looks like just like a chill ass Jesus. Like this is what would have happened.
Because Jesus was such a hard ass.
No, but he had some
You
stresses.
never know, he might have been.
Well, remember, this is Jesus at 60. Like, he didn't get crucified. Everything was just, like, it was the entourage life for Jesus.
Oh my god, like he bypassed the old cross.
Yeah.
And now he's just like, whew, dodge that one. And now he's like, he's just living the dream.
See, that was a very Keira Knightley. That didn't even remotely look like Padme there.
Misa, don't give a fuck what you think, Jar Jar.
That would be amazing if everybody just ran.
Shut the fuck up.
Wouldn't that be amazing if that's what they did in the second movie? Is just everyone's like, fuck off, Jar Jar. See, you can see his rat tail there. It's still normal.
Yeah, okay. I thought I was like, wow, he really grew that fucker out.
I like that he's like, we're gonna take you to a hidden place. They're all just standing around in one spot. It's not like another underground spot or like.
Oh my god, that's like the same shot from like the swamp when they go to Yoda's swampland.
Pretty much.
Remember that thing comes through the...
Yeah.
I wonder if they do that on purpose. That's Keira Knightley.
That's very Keira Knightley. But you could also see what's her face in the background too.
Oh, there goes somebody. Look at that. Was that a real pig or something?
I
think it was.
I don't know what's real anymore.
Fuck, neither do I.
This guy, look at the size of the ears on the one behind her. Sorry to body shame, but holy shit.
You didn't shame. You're just pointing out her gigantic ears.
Yeah, I'm gonna say they're CG'd and just leave her alone.
Imagine that was something they did. The character's written down and having very large ears. Well, no, protruding. They're not large. They're just protruding.
I would love if so. Now she goes, I'm actually Queen Amidala, but then the other one's sense of duty keeps coming in and she jumps in front of her and she's like, no, I'm Amidala. She's like, no, I'm Amidala. And it just keeps going back and forth.
The two of you must fight to the death.
Yes. Who is the real Amidala?
Whoever survives is clearly the real one.
Yeah. It's the one who's the trained warrior who's who's like there to protect the queen.
Yeah.
Or the queen who's a 14-year-old.
Never trained anything. Sort of like witch trials.
But that being said,
you're damned if you don't.
She does get into gunfights in a minute, but like... Yeah, I know. I always wonder, is that how he digests whatever's in his gullet?
Maybe he's got soft teeth, so he kind of jiggles his mouth around to break it up somewhat.
Yeah. That's how I eat my desserts in restaurants.
Okay, you know what? Now this is the time, I felt it was unnecessary and a little bit cruel for me to watch a couple of Ewoks die.
Yeah.
This is the time to decimate the Jar Jars. Just fucking show scenes of them getting their heads exploded, like gutted, arms ripped off.
Yeah, I wanted this one to be a full-on genocide.
Yep. My babies! You see their babies getting stomped on. Yeah, we missed one over there,
I want them removed from canon.
Exactly. With a cannon.
Yeah. I like that basically the whole tension between the Naboo and the Gungans were, oh, you think you're better than me. That was basically the whole thing. He's like, oh, you don't think you're better than me? No, we don't even really think about you much at all. All right.
Why didn't we ever sit down and talk about this before?
Yeah.
Instead of just warring.
The design, like the paint design and stuff too, is just like out of this world.
There's some old Taiwanese like statue or something.
See, that kind of bummed me out too, because like this Star Wars movie won 0 Oscars. And I feel like if nothing, well, definitely nothing else, but it should have had a good shot at makeup for like Darth Maul and for like some of the other Jedi.
I think it was up.
It may have been up, but it didn't win.
Right.
Right? Because it was.
Oh, I thought you were saying like it wasn't even nominated for anything, but I'm sure makeup.
Yeah, it had to have been. Well, that and sound.
And I was just going to say that, and I think sound was up as well, yeah.
And but I feel like those are two things, like good movie or not, that these things were worthy of. Like, I don't know what they gave it to, but sometimes you watch some of those ones and you're like, and the winner is, and it's like Downton Abbey, the movie. And you're like, how is the sound design better than a fucking pod race? And it was like, well,
you don't even know what it's like to make it sound like back then.
Yeah, it was like,
you just reminded me that I still have to continue.
Yeah.
Once I broke up with the old lady, I was like, you know what? I was in there getting my stuff and I saw Downton and I was like, this is the exact same time when I was watching Downton when she dumped me before. And I was like, I purchased it. I'm taking it.
There you go.
It was a gift for the house, and we were no longer playing house.
Yeah.
Any gifts I gave to the house are mine.
That's right. Yeah. The house doesn't give a shit.
Fuck it. The house always wins. Fuck.
Most of Todd's relationship ideas have come from Wesley Snipes movies.
Always been on black.
Yes.
They're like, what?
Nowhere near enough interracial relationships.
That's exactly why they always end up in the arms of a black man. Mm-hmm. You pushed me this way. I was like, did I?
Too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I remember in high school you started to get mean to me, and I started really getting into Shaquille O'Neal around the same time.
Yeah, Shaq.
Yeah, you were horrible. Shaq was there for me.
Shaq's there for everybody.
Oh, the Shaq Diesel, Superman. I like the way that because his like robot thing that's walking there is like it's like he's swaying to like some music. Like,
I like that thing.
It's like, I'm not listening to Dave Matthews right now. What are you talking about?
I wonder if like he's not on it now. Is that like his seat? And now he's put the thing there?
I'm sure there's a lot of versions.
Yeah, they probably got a couple of them lying around.
I love that that's just the thing. And he brought it with him. He's like, sometimes I'm just not going to feel like fucking walking. I like that they gave they're basically being given like a Vietnam movie treatment here. Like Out of the Mist becomes the... it's so Lord of the Rings looking almost. Yeah. Look at that with the dude there and the big elephants, and there's something about horns that really lets you know that like a good ground battle's
this
about to
really
happen.
Is like this was before. Yeah, that's right. This is before.
This is before
a year before the first one.
Yeah, it was like, again from how long it was made and stuff like that. Like it's
Once you've watched the movie and your eyeballs get used to the special effects, after a while, it's like you don't notice how shitty they are now. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, certain things
it doesn't
really
look so bad right here.
Well, I mean, the difference is, though, he's not standing next to a person
right.
here.
There's nothing real to...
But, like... Yeah, I try not to get too bothered by like things that are really time's fault. Like it's like this
my
is
age.
Well, yeah, well that too.
Like my erectile dysfunction.
Well, I mean, come on. If I've been working hard on my body, and if that can't fix your problem, then I don't know what can. But
if this can't get you hard, nothing can.
But like to me, it's like there's certain points when graphics are only going to be as good as they could be. Right? And it's like, so you got to forgive that. It's like the old Dire Straits Money for Nothing video. Everything looks like fucking Minecraft. And
oh my God, it looks like real people.
Yeah. I'm going to try and find him, but an uncredited role, Richard Armitage, who played Thorin Oakenshield in the Hobbit movies, is in this scene, or in this movie. He's one of the Naboo guys. I think when they go grappling hooks, you see him, but I gotta try and find him. I probably won't recognize him because he's wearing his fucking hat and all his other shit, and he's not going to have, like, his oaken shield, so I'm not going to...
You won't recognize him.
Oh, yeah, without his shield.
See, there should have been... I know that Buddy, Qui-Gon there...
Yes.
Rumbled, Darth Maul, but their fight should have been bigger.
Yeah, but...
to lead up to this one.
No, see, it's like, I think you're missing the jaws of it all. Is like now is like you got a little taste. Is like okay.
Like they're building and building.
But like this movie was built around the double lightsaber reveal that's about to happen,
which they showed in the preview. Yeah,
but like that's what made everybody think, and I think that was their big mistake. Is they showed him and they're like, oh, this is your main bad guy. And it's like he's not. Oh, there was your Wilhelm scream, by the way.
Oh my God, I heard it. Yeah, they kind of shortened it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you didn't even make it out. Bummer. That'd be me.
Yeah. But this is exactly what I was saying, because you were saying oh, the technology all looks worse earlier and stuff like that. And that was their basic excuse, is they've just basically pushed out like nothing isn't mass produced anymore, so everything looks the same I mean
like the technology seems to be better.
Yeah, well now you mean. Yes. No, but that's what I'm saying is later it's because everything is mass produced, and because there's such a hefty war going on, nobody's making new shit. They're just fixing old shit. Like it's like, oh yeah, this ship's crashed like 8 times, and we keep just getting it back up into the stars.
Reminds me of like the Marvel bubble there, or in Wakanda.
Yes.
This reminds me of both exactly the Wakandan fight and Lord of the Rings mixed together.
This is
neat, eh?
Yeah, this has... Oh, I think that this was a really well done scene, because this is basically exactly... You know, if you're going to have a droid army, like in real life...
That is so cool.
Yeah, in real life, if you had a droid army, this is essentially how they would be deployed.
I thought this is exactly how the Chinese army works. This is why they say don't get into a land war with China.
Yeah, I think that this is the movie The Great Wall. This is like I'm pretty sure Matt Damon's in there somewhere.
Oh my God! Oh yeah, that movie's on Netflix. I said, what the fuck was that?
It was just
my brain unhinging.
No, it was an ear pop that nobody heard that you're reacting to. So it's like when when you walk into a spider web far away from anybody, you're the only person who experienced that problem.
Then I think there's a huge spider on me.
Yeah. And everybody else just thinks you're a fucking nut.
Like, what's that guy's going crazy? Or like when those like people like talking on their, it's in their ear, but they're talking in the beginning, and be like, what the fuck is this person telling? And then they're on the phone. Yeah. Oh, how come they could just walk right through?
Well, I don't know.
The guns didn't do nothing, but they could just walk through.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess that energy counteracts that energy.
I don't know, but they got something going on.
They actually stole a lot of stuff right out of like Buster Keaton for him in this. Like there's a bit in a minute where he like gets stuck on like one of the droid's guns and it's firing everywhere.
Yes.
That is straight out of Buster Keaton. He gets his foot stuck on a mini cannon and he keeps flipping it around and it keeps like firing and stuff like that. All right, stay in that cockpit. Hope nothing bad happens.
Yeah, you don't need it. Oh, shit.
And can we also talk about Duel of the Fates?
Here it is.
Song, man. This, I don't think any better song has been written for a movie. Like,
I love this music. It's so killer. I agree. I don't agree with the best music ever, but I mean, it's deadly.
Like, well, but I mean, like, what is more fitting and intense and like the amount of orchestration and stuff like that for what it is, like I can't think of anything else that like matches it. Not maybe like there's more iconic stuff, but I mean like this, like the Superman theme, the Star Wars theme, and so many other things
I was like
are more
so
iconic.
looking forward to that. This scene right here when you watch the previews and then watching the movie, it's like, oh hell yeah.
And it's just, this is the kind of thing you're like, why couldn't more of the movie been this and less of the movie been about like detailing how you're gonna get that one single part for the ship,
right?
Okay, so like they're still doing that.
It's got its flaws, that's for sure.
Like Watto calls, he's like, okay, just so we've got this straight, so now you got the money and you freed him, and I get him. No, you've got the money. Oh, I have the money. Where's the money? Oh, the money. Like, and it's just like. Yeah. Nobody's at all concerned. They're just like, oh, there goes that little boy in that spaceship.
They're never, he's just a slave.
Yeah. And it's just all natural instinct. This looks like a cool trick, and he blows up everything. He's like essentially accidental. Like, again, instead of showing skill, he's basically just accidentally doing everything, which is so not the point.
Yeah.
I'm so glad because they talked about getting like real actor, like stars to play Darth Maul. Benicio del Toro was signed on to play Darth Maul. He dropped out after they cut all his lines because they were basically making him like they were.
Well, you didn't need an actor for them. He's just going to do this shit.
Yeah, exactly. So then they were just like, so he dropped out, and then they were like, and then they went with somebody who was just really good at doing.
Why
this
would he
shit,
get himself there?
I don't know.
Like walks over there to the most teetery spot.
Yeah, but he knows what he's doing. See, he's like, maybe one of these guys won't make the jump.
So make the backflip.
Yeah, so it's so obviously everything there is CG, like the whole set is green screen. If you watch that making of that I was telling you about, you see this gigantic green screen room with just the platforms and just some like cool ways that they're like when you see Obi Wan do this big jump in a little bit, it's so low key where it's like literally it's like a couple stuntmen, like even Ray Park. Like they have this plank and they just launch him up in the air and then he just lands on his feet and then runs off, and it's like it's so funny to see something so expensive just still use some of the most base like techniques and stuff for filmmaking.
Don't this totally look like the shields that they used in Black Panther?
Oh, absolutely. See, this is the Buster Keaton scene I was talking about. See,
does it have to be so goofy? Like, couldn't he got his shit together in this scene?
Well, see, and that would have been a good thing, but also what kills me is just because he felt the need. He's like, oh, we're going to have somebody that's for the kids. The little kids are going to love this. Little kids loved Star Wars, the original one, and there was no Jar Jar. The droids were good enough. Chewbacca was cool. Darth Vader was cool. Like, just focus on your core and everything else will fall into place.
Well, that's always when you add or take away for what you think the crowd is going to like or not like is bad. Really bad.
It's like whenever they add a random kid in a sitcom, like Seven and like
they learned real quick. Seven was gone real fast.
Yeah. And then
this was great about the show. They're just like, fuck it.
And they were just putting him on milk cartons like 7 episodes later.
Shit, what were we just saying there?
I don't know. Some about spaceships.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my God.
But,
oh, sorry. It was like the adding of...
Oh, a single
it's like thinking in your mind. It's like pandering to an audience, and they're not pandering for this.
Yeah, you're pandering to an audience that did not ask you to make a change. They're like, hey, everything you did was perfect before. He's like, oh, okay, so I'm going to change the following things then. Okay, so it's Richard Armitage is in one of the guys who's about to, like, shoot up here. Try and find him. See if you can recognize Thorin Oakenshield. Yeah, they're all fucking covering their face.
Oh, man. Well, maybe we might see him again.
Yeah. He's one of them. I just know
that's him right there, the guy last.
Yeah. The woman. The woman who looks like Padme.
We'll get a shot here.
No, that's not him. Well, it doesn't really matter. He's there. I just know he's there. So is Roman Coppola.
Roman Polanski.
No. Oh, my God. Could you imagine?
It makes sense. You got Keira Knightley and what's her name there? They're probably 13.
There's underage girls there. Paul Verhoeven keeps calling him, but nobody's picking up his phone.
Oh my God, you got to be bad when Polanski thinks you're a pervert.
Yeah.
And won't answer the phone.
Yeah, you want to perv out with me? No, no.
You want to perv out with me?
I perv out with class.
What? You want to perv out with me?
See, that was the bit where they just literally threw him up with a piece of wood.
A piece of wood.
Oh wait, no, it's this one. That's the one.
So they're just like stand in the woodwork and throw you out.
Yeah, and
two big gaffers.
Well, because I guess they had a trampoline down, but it would like look like he was bouncing when he came up and stuff like that. So like, no, it looks like crap. So then they just figured out, they're like, oh, let's do it as low key as possible, right? I love this bit too. This is like where you get like a difference between the Sith and the Jedi.
This is awesome.
This is a great, again, it's a quiet scene that I like. Like it was in episode 3. One of my favorite scenes in episode 3 is this quiet scene where literally nothing is happening and you just have to like kind of like stew in the moment.
Like a tiger in a cage.
Yeah, Tiger King, right?
Yes.
Joe Exotic.
Oh, that guy didn't even notice that thing blew up on his back. Yeah,
they're pretty hardy, those guys.
Wow.
You can have sex with it, it won't even care. What?
Oh, these are the things from Jurassic Park. Oh no, these look like just like the things out of the Dark Crystal.
Yeah, a little bit. I agree with what you said though with him. Like, wouldn't it have been good for him to like find his courage?
Yeah, like get it together, bro. And otherwise, it has to be all this whole goofy like Inspector Gadget's in the war here.
I was just going to say the exact same thing. I was like, that's the one thing I always hate. I hate when people are accidentally heroes, like an Inspector Gadget or something like that, where it's like, oh, I'm completely inept, and everybody's just like, yeah, you did it. It's like Clouseau gets away with it because it's funny, and it was kind of like maybe not the original, but like the original for me, right?
Well, Jack Burton was pretty good, too. He's pretty inept.
Yes. Yeah, but he was kind of never... Like, they kind of make the point that he's never the hero. Right. He's just along for the ride. Whereas, like, he's... Like, in the end, like, he's literally been made a general just for making them make friends. And I like, it was like he led this army for what? You know what I mean?
This is very Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Jump, you fucking idiot. Yeah, good. Get trampled.
Yeah.
Oh, my fuck.
Yeah, I think that one...
Oh, my God.
You find out that one took his own... That other Gungan takes his own life in a little bit. Like, he's just like, I am done.
I can't do this, like, Jar Jar.
Like, he's one of those guys... And again, because they keep rewarding him, they're like, do you know how much work I did? He's like, I trained the armies. I did all this. I actually, like... created the strategies, and then he just fucked up, and then we happened to win the battle because somebody blew up the mothership. And he's like, "Here's a medal, Jar Jar." He's like, "Fuck
he's
all
like,
y'all."
Buddy, the guy that's with him, he's like, "We won."
Yeah,
and he just blows his brains out.
Yeah,
he was hoping they lost, they'd all be, and he was hoping he would die in the battle.
Yeah,
so you never had to put up with Jar Jar.
I want to die with some honor. But this is another lazy thing for me, and I know it happens. Basically, the exact same fucking thing happened in Avengers too, where it's just like, kill the mothership and everything's done.
Yeah,
you win. Even though everything, like, I could at least buy it because it's droids in this one, and like Avengers, they were like organic creatures. They were under
once
control,
their boss is gone, they scatter, right? Just like in war, a lot of people are going to run off. Some people will stay, but it won't be an organized attack anymore.
And that would be fine if they did it like that. But in these ones, they just all die. It's just all, and then it's like, oh, we're done then. I love this too. It's just, you get a little bit of the one-on-one, and
always itching to get in there.
There was a great moment. I saw footage of him at a Comic-Con. I think it was like Hamilton Comic-Con, actually.
Oh my God.
He came out, somebody had a double lightsaber in line, and he actually took Ray Park took the double lightsaber and was like doing lightsaber shit.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, he was putting on a show, man. That was cool as fuck. He was also the Headless Horseman. He had a lot of roles around this time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was Toad in X-Men. He was, what else was he? I've got him down here. He was Chuck Norris in a miniseries called The Legend of Bruce Lee. He was Snake Eyes in the G.I. Joe movies.
That's right, Snake Eyes.
He was in Heroes. He was Baraka in Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Well, like the precursor to Baraka.
Right.
He had they called him something else, but it was obviously Baraka. type thing. So like, yeah, he was really in demand, and he's still in stuff like all the time. And he was obviously in he made an appearance in Fanboys. That was really good.
2 Queen Abadalias.
Well, this is even better. He's like, this one's a decoy. Wouldn't the one that doesn't look like the queen be the decoy?
They don't know what they're doing. That battle was pretty lame with the Jar Jars.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, it's not done yet, technically. Well, they're captured. It's like they've lost, but it took me a long time to realize that a viceroy was a person, because they're like, we have to get the viceroy. We have to get the viceroy. And I didn't realize that he was the viceroy. So I was like, oh, it must be like a piece of equipment they need or something like that. But this is when I saw it. I was like 18. I don't know what viceroys were. So now he's got a little bit of rage going on too.
Oh, he's pissed.
Like this is what I was dreaming of. Like even as a kid, like to like see fast-paced killer lightsaber battles. Like
Ooh, that's cool. I like the sounds. Like,
Ewan McGregor got in trouble for making the lightsaber sounds himself a lot when he was fighting. They were like, George Lucas had to take him aside, and he's like, we'll take care of that, right?
Wow,
like,
wow,
yeah.
wow.
But like, how do you stop yourself, right? Like, even or if you've got a blaster, how are you not going like, do?
It's funny that even him is like, yeah, we can hear you doing the sounds, bud.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit.
Is there any force power that you've seen? Again, like we were talking about, like things that weren't in the original trilogy, like the force push and all these things that like you didn't like that existed in the future, in like the movies that took place.
No, I thought it was all believable. Like especially the astral projection and stuff. You think that if all the other shit they could do, of course they could do that.
If they can do it from the dead, they couldn't do it when
like,
they were
what
alive.
The frig, like.
Yeah, like that's like.
Why? Because like it's just like you said. Like if you didn't. It's not like everything they could possibly do is listed, and if you didn't see it in the first 3, that means they couldn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah, if like an 80-year-old man didn't do it, it wasn't possible. Yeah. But it's my hope, like if they do like a Knights of the Old Republic, I want to see even more. Like I want to find out that there's skills that have been lost. Like a good example is battle meditation that they do in those ones, where like one person literally is like they just meditate, and it basically like gives strength and power to their side, and like kind of like helps turn the favor in their like to their side. But I would picture like a room in like the middle of a ship where like 3 Jedi are just sitting like in a triangle, and they're just sitting there meditating, and it's helping the battle, and then like they get killed and then things like go the other way. And...
Right, like you could be that's a cool idea actually. Like they're
because battle meditation,
handing it over to you almost like you could have one character too. He's getting shot. He just won't stop, like because they're powering him, like.
But battle meditation in the in some of the comics and like the radio plays are a pretty big deal. In the radio plays, like the sequels to the original trilogy, where Leia and stuff like that, Leia finds a holocron and learns all about battle meditation and stuff like that, and starts to like.
You could have that really knocks the old juices around there in my brain. You could have a character too who is like they don't know it yet, but they're almost the decoy, and then they. Oh, there he is, split in half. There you go, bud. That's over. Yep. They should have themselves a little more tussle.
Yeah.
But then, like, he's doing amazing things in the battle that he shouldn't be able to.
Yeah.
Because they had that talk where it's like, you just have to believe in yourself. You're not a Jedi, but you could still have the Force if you believe. And then he's doing crazy things, but they're doing it in their little, battle prayer circle, right? He's doing crazy shit. And,
like the precogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that just occurred to me because I just actually watched that movie.
Awesome movie.
It was on the other day, so I was like, I gotta stop and watch this. Watch all this overexposed film.
Yeah, holy God, eh?
It was like the most over. I feel like it was an accident. They're like, fuck it, it's the style.
There was some real goofy shit in that movie.
Oh yeah,
where like loses his eyeballs and they're rolling down the hill and.
Oh yeah, well that's
like what the fuck? Or when buddies
just like in real life.
Yeah, or like Patrick Kilpatrick gets a lot of scenes in that movie.
Yeah,
good for him.
Still the best name in film.
Doesn't beat Brock Savage. Real name.
Real name.
Nah, this movie's aight.
It's again, there's good parts, there's horrible parts, and it's like either have fun with the bad parts or
it did seem like there was a lot of stuff that was very unnecessary.
Yep. And this is like where like I would have like that phantom edit kind of comes in, right? Where it's like so the election seemed to have happened pretty quickly while they were like I don't know how much time has passed again, right? But he's now the chancellor, so the election has happened. I was like, when did that go down?
They missed. They didn't even have time. Like, during this whole thing, they're like, we're still voting. I don't care.
Yeah, I know.
If you can make it to the polls, you know.
Well, I guess when you think about a whole galaxy, a war between, like, two, like, planets or, like, two people, it's not really much to them.
It seemed like they were pretty close to them. Yeah. To be, like...
You know, when the shit was going down in Syria, UN was still, like, coming together. Again, there's a great thing you get to see with the puppet of Yoda in the making of. You can see Frank Oz working with George Lucas and he's like doing the cane and like walking back and forth and all that. But he's talking to George and they're talking like directors to each other. And he's like, I'm obviously saving it right now, but I'll do this. And then like I do a little stomp. He's like, that good? And they're like, it's so cool to see like a director go one-on-one with a director and like work out a scene, because he's still like, I thought about this with Tom Hanks, because like Tom Hanks is obviously like one of the giantest actors of all time, but he's also a director and a producer. And I was like, can he throw that stuff aside when he's just starring in a movie that he doesn't have his production company on or something like that?
And do they, do other directors encourage that kind of thing? Like if you were a director.
Yeah. That one guy.
This whole movie just seems like I fucking saw it already.
But you did. Oh,
I don't mean just like right now. Yeah. I mean, this is like Darth Vader. Like, I don't know. A lot of them just seem to be the same goddamn thing.
Well, they're giving him
The Last Jedi was so good.
Yeah. They're giving him a Jedi burial. That's you burn them.
I don't know. You'll go home. You'll get crazy. You'll go to a mental institute.
Yeah.
And then you'll star in the next one.
What would be amazing? He goes, what'll happen to me now? He's like, I'm going to hand you over to like, to one of our most scandalous Jedi. And it goes over and it's John Waters. And he's like, hello.
Zap.
Zap. That'd be amazing. Again, somebody... Teflon from these movies is like like if anybody said anything Star Wars to him, he was like, oh, you were in the prequels. He's like, goddamn right I was in the prequels. You're welcome. My lightsaber was purple. What color was your lightsaber? Oh, that's right, you weren't in the prequels. You weren't in any of the movies.
Oh, here's the obligatory party.
There always has to be a party.
Why couldn't they do one movie where the bad guys are partying? Like the Empire's partying because they did it.
That'd be amazing. It'd be amazing if like you just heard them, they're going, evil, evil. They're like, yeah, we're bad guys. Woo.
Buddy's got the Tesseract. Yeah.
Oh, he's got his little buzz cut and his little teeny tiny braid.
He looks like a little dog, the bounty hunter. Oh, he's so cute.
People have been all over him. Like his wife died, and then it's like, I think he's dating already. What the hell is this? And I'm like, oh my god, he's not important enough. I was always wondering, like, is that like taller like guy with the same Yoda ears, only like pink skin? Is he like an offshoot of the same species?
Well, I think maybe he's a love child of like a little person humanoid, and a Yodite.
Oh my lord, yeah, him and Yoda and Shmi. That's what happened. He was like, they had this one and they believed that Anakin was the chosen one, and Yoda went to try and make his own chosen one with Shmi Skywalker. And that's what came out. He's like, oh my god, he's a monstrosity.
He brings him out every now and then there for some air.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. I call my penis the Phantom Menace.
Yes.
Because like it's never there when you want it to be.
It's true. Literally not there.
And then suddenly I'm like, oh my god, I have a rage boner and there's no one around.
Nobody. It's just some other things I just I
think that was one of the weaker ones.
It's one of the weaker ones, but I mean, like, I stand behind 2 being the weakest one, and I stand behind 3 being stronger than Return of the Jedi.
2 being the next one.
2 being the next one, yes.
I don't know. Well, yeah, we'll get there. We'll watch it.
Well,
I thought I liked that one better.
Year. Yeah. Well, that's where we're at, right?
Yeah, true. Yeah.
But yeah, well, so what was I saying? So yeah, we've mentioned it in previous ones, but obviously Ewan McGregor is the nephew of Dennis Lawson, who played Wedge Antilles in the original trilogy. Oh, it's so good. I've mentioned this in previous podcasts too. This is the first, not soundtrack. Like this was a soundtrack that I bought, but this is the first one where it was just a straight up score.
Like the orchestral.
Yeah. Orchestral. You had it.
Yeah.
But this is the first one that I ever bought, and I probably no, not the only one I ever bought, because I have the vinyl of the Force Awakens one, because it has the.
I remember when you purchased this.
Yeah, because it has the hologram on it. When I thought
it was a bold move. Yeah. I liked it.
I've got two. I have one that's still in its wrapper.
You just bought I was like, you want to listen to what right on.
I just really wanted, because I heard this and I was like, it made me want to dig deep into the themes and stuff and hear some more of them. Some of them are weak as shit. Some of them are really good. And it's just like, because some are so subdued that you don't even notice that they're there, really.
Right. But if they weren't there, you'd notice something was missing.
Oh, absolutely. And it's like, which maybe isn't like this, like the original trilogy doesn't have that as much, where it's like, they have the Star Wars theme, Luke's theme, the Imperial March, like they have a lot of ones that go, but then like in Return of the Jedi, maybe not as much.
Yeah, there's Sophia Coppola and Keira Knightley right next to each other.
Yeah.
Jabba the Hutt as himself.
So somebody's name was Jinn, just Jinn, and the voice of Tay How was Tiger.
Cool. Tiger, I wonder if he was like an artist who calls himself Tiger.
I am Tiger. Sure you are, buddy.
He's probably from the Philippines or something.
Yeah. I just saw the name. I just saw the name Kun Chang, and I'm like, what level of Mortal Kombat is he in?
All of them.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't care about any of these people's names. The location accountant. What a fucking job that is. Just seeing what are you? Todd's reading texts.
I'm reading. It has to do with new things today, so I can't tell you.
Yeah, not allowed.
Because you'll have a heart attack, because time itself will collapse in, and there will be a wormhole.
There will be.
We're getting lots of money back for free. Woo!
Woot woot.
Everybody is.
Oh, really?
I guess.
Okay, well, I hope I
guess we all get like a $400 check or something.
All right, well, I hope I get it tomorrow.
April 9th, we are getting extra GST.
Oh, I don't qualify for GST. So
it's not fair. I'm getting more than my mother. Well, she'll get it anyways. What the hell is she whining about? Come on, eh?
Just give me money.
It'll just be hers anyways.
Yeah. But,
did everybody do your taxes? I hope so. It's way after. No, it's way after.
Most places in the U.S. had to extend their things. I think they're extended till July in most states.
Yeah, we're July 1st or June.
Yeah.
Whatever the last day of June is.
Yeah, I don't know. I got mine in like before all this shit happened.
Yeah, me too, buddy.
We do, we were doing ours immediately because we were going to be going to Disney and we wanted to have the extra cash, right? Guess what happened?
You know that they canceled the trip because they didn't want you there anymore? They canceled the whole thing. They made up coronavirus so you won't be there.
Could you imagine if I looked up and I saw it was still going and it was like, literally it was just a thing up against me? I'd want to go even more. I'd be like,
I'll pay double.
Like, I would just be like, what? Like me. Please like me.
You get free food now, though, on the next one.
Oh, yeah.
I'm jealous that you're going to get to go to Universal as well.
It was, to make it up to the kids, we decided we were going to, if we could get, because I figured they would offer some sort of incentive. And I was like, depending on the incentive, we'll try and stay for a couple of more days. And then we'll sneak in Universal as well. And then with the free dining plan, we're saving like probably about 25%. We're gonna stay for 3 or 4 more days. Or 2 or 3 more days.
You said that they know. They got the wands. They watch Harry Potter.
Yeah, man.
I have a feeling that your children will like Harry Potter the best out of both parks.
Oh, for like Universal?
Both.
Oh, I don't know.
My prediction is that they will like Hogwarts and the train and all that stuff. They will like that the best.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting.
Absolutely. Don't.
I'm not gonna
influence.
No, because I'm
their opinion.
No, because I'm excited to go see it too. That's the thing. I love that.
That
stuff.
Jurassic Park ride looks wicked.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm looking forward to all of it.
You gotta stuff me in a suitcase.
I was looking at a thing, and from the last time I was at Universal Studios, there's only one ride still going. E.T.
Oh, from when you were first there.
I've only been to Universal one other time, and E.T. is the last thing left.
It's fucking lame.
Because like the Simpsons took over Back to the Future, and then like Jaws died. And King Kong died.
He had a good run. Yeah, they both did.
Yeah. I think Jaws ate
King Kong was lame ass ride anyways. I'm glad they got the new one.
was.
All of those rides were lame.
Yeah.
It's like you sit there, you go along, you watch something happen.
That
like,
was it.
What is
like,
this?
To like experience the movie.
Oh, here comes the shark.
Yeah. All right, guys. That is the end of this one.
Whoa.
We will be back next week. Oh, this is some god-awful...
What the hell is happening?
This is like a DTS thing that's for some reason happening after the movie.
Ooh.
Whatever.
Ooh.
Nobody here can hear this, and probably nobody's watching this part, so it doesn't really matter. But anyways, so next week we will be back with a Coming Attractions episode, getting back into the regular schedule and format. As always, you can get us at miscastcommentary.com. Email us podcast@miscastcommentary.com. Go on Twitter at miscastpodcast. I'm at JK Finley. Todd's at miscasttodd. Instagram at miscastcommentary, and I'm at JK Finley there. All sorts of ways to reach us, guys. Reach out. Let us know what you love. Let us know what you hate. Comment, rate, subscribe. Click things that are positive. If you don't like things, click things that are negative. I don't want you to click things that are negative, but be realistic.
It's your prerogative.
Yeah, we want feedback. If there's things we can improve, we'd love to know. But I doubt it. Like Jesus, right? But but you know,
can't fix perfection, baby.
That's what I'm saying. So until next week, we bid you guys a fond adieu.
Adieu.
This has been Miscast Commentary with your hosts, Joe Finley and Todd Murray. Executive producer, Joe Finley. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen. Visit www.miscastcommentary.com for all news related to the podcast. Miscast Commentary is a Miscast Media production.